Well, well, well. So, we had a lengthy discussion on Saturday about George Pickens. And a lot of people were pushing back saying that I didn't know what I was talking about. But I've told y'all before, you're going to call me a prophet before it's all said and done. So nevertheless, now we find out over the weekend, what was the delay in the George Pickens saga? Why did he delay signing the franchise tag or the non-exclusive tag? Well, now we got some more news that George Pickens may have been out there trying to seek a trade. But that isn't the only thing we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how active the Cowboys were during this draft and how the Cowboys were absolutely trying to do some great things in this draft. Not only were they trying to do some great things in this draft, a lot of people have been talking about Caleb Downs. We got a player here by the name of Malachi Lawrence, and I think we may be underestimating Malachi Lawrence. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Yup. Let's go. What's up, Cowboy fans? It is Monday. It is a great day to talk Dallas Cowboys. Beautiful day outside. Got rid of this Seattle weather. Now we got this Texas weather. Sun is out. Hey, man, if the sun is out, Cowboys are out. Let's go. Let's get it. Welcome, 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 Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G and I'm the host of List of Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great content coming up the rest of this season. Now let's talk facts. This is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to revisit our conversation with about George Pickens. A lot of y'all didn't believe what I was telling you. I'm telling you, I tell people all the time at church, you're going to call me a prophet before it's all said and done. You're going to call me a prophet. Everything I was telling you, I know it was true based on the evidence we have today. Not only that, we're going to go over to 105.3 The Fan. We're going to check out Joseph Hoyt and Nick Eatman. They're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys rookie camp, and then they're going to talk a little bit about this George Pickens situation also. Then, I want to take y'all down memory lane because a lot of people may have been shocked that the Dallas Cowboys went and got Malachi Lawrence. But if you go back and listen to some things some people were saying about Malachi Lawrence, I'm telling y'all, had the Cowboys not got Malachi Lawrence at 23, the San Francisco 49ers were going to get him. And if the San Francisco 49ers didn't get him, he would have been the first edge rusher off the board the second day of the draft. And I'm going to tell you now, man, I think Malachi Lawrence may be better than a lot of people are giving this guy credit for. Then, DJ Winfield. Not really sure who DJ Winfield is. I got a story about him. I'll let you know what's going on with him. We got him. The Cowboys were able to sign him to a UDFA deal. He is making the team. They signed him $210,000. I guarantee you he makes the team. Then we're going to look at the Cowboys war room. And then we're going to look at some player interviews. And then I'm going to add one more thing in here. What they are saying about the Dallas Cowboys schedule. What they are saying about this new Cowboys schedule. Wow. Wow. And then I'm going to give you one quick hit. I'm still betting that Trayvon Diggs is going to go somewhere else. And I still think it's going to be the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to give you a Diggs update. I mean, I know he's not a player. I know he's not a Cowboy anymore, but I'm going to give you a Diggs update. I believe Diggs is going to be back before it's all said and done. So that's going to be the show for the day. George Pickens, 105.3 The Fan with Joseph Hoyt, Nick Eatman, Malachi Lawrence, TJ Winfield, Cowboys War Room, player interviews, Cowboys schedule, and the Diggs update. Yep. Let's get this quick roll call in. We're going to try to get this all in within about I'm saying somewhere in around 2 to 2.5 hours. We're going to try to get all of this in. Big Moss Dog. What is going on, Big Moss Dog? Jacob Jackson in the chat. It is the Queen. What's going on, Queen? Christian Legal. What's going on? Rico Love. What up, Rico Love? Appreciate you, Rico Love. Justin Durham. What up? Inglewood Trojans. Tommy TTT. T, what's up with you? What's up, Cowboy fan Kibo? It is none other than Bump from the 903. What's going on? Mark Davis, what up? It's the real estate vet straight out of Las Vegas. What's going on? What's going on, Lynn? Lynn from the 903. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, Lynn. What is going on? Tony Jones, D-Block back up in there. What up, D-Block? Yes, sir. He was trying to get that bag. What's going on? Carl Williams, what's going on? 5 points of the star. What's going on? Attention. What's going on? Good to see you. Mose Logan. What's going on? Tac Dab. What up? John Henry. What up, John Henry? What's going on? 72 Chevelle just pulled up to the congregation. What's up? Lonnie Cabal. What's going on with you? My man, Dominique Pittman, a.k.a. the neighborhood skeptic. He always got to try to keep us grounded. Appreciate you, Dominique. Enoch Taylor, what's going on? What's going on, Roosevelt? What's going on, Tatiana? I'm not even going to mention Blueface, even though I just did. What's going on, Tatiana? Good to see you today. True Texan, howdy, partner. What's going on? Good to see you. Mike said this. What's going on? Mike said this. Man, I saw that about them jersey sales, man. Caleb Downs. What's going on, Texas Show? Johnny Wiggins, what up? Bernard Fields. What's going on? It is the cheese. What's going on, the cheese? Marlon Dillard, David Duval, C Boys, what's going on? Delta Roots. Y'all give yourselves a hand. Best chat on YouTube. Oh, I thought I turned that off. Best chat on YouTube. Let's go. All right. So let's enter into the first discussion with George Pickens. And I was telling y'all, and I'm not professing to be a prophet in reality. I mean, I'm just joking when I say that. I mean, even though some people call me a prophet from time to time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you what I know about people from experience. You can either look at life negatively or you can look at life positively. It's up to you. You can look at it a glass half full, or you can look at it a glass half empty. That's up to you. And it's hard to sway people into looking at a glass half full, because a lot of people will look at people as a glass half empty. But I told y'all, the Dallas Cowboys, we're saying, man, the Dallas Cowboys are holding against George Pickens what he was in Pittsburgh. What did I tell y'all on Saturday? I don't think the Cowboys are holding Pittsburgh against George Pickens. I think the Cowboys are holding what they saw from George Pickens this past season. They are saying, we're not worried any longer about Pittsburgh. We want to see more of what you were in Dallas. I believe that's what they are saying to George Pickens. And if the Cowboys didn't like George Pickens, if they were not trying to give George Pickens the opportunity to totally rehabilitate himself and set him up for the bag, contrary to what we are saying, there is no way. There is no way the Dallas Cowboys would have signed or put a non-exclusive tag on George Pickens and put 2 first-round tenders on there. That doesn't make sense. I'm really trying to give us logic, and I know we don't like the logic. But it doesn't make sense that the Cowboys don't like George Pickens, don't want George Pickens. The Cowboys, if there is any team that is not holding Pittsburgh against George Pickens, it's the Cowboys. But it is the rest of the league that's holding Pittsburgh, it seems, against George Pickens. Not the Cowboys. If the Cowboys were holding Pittsburgh against George Pickens, I'm not paying George Pickens $27.3 million right off the bottom of the tag. I'm not doing that. No. They want George Pickens. And I don't think they just want George Pickens for one season. I think they want George Pickens for multiple seasons. I do. I believe they want George Pickens for multiple seasons. And at the end of the day, even if George balls out and the Cowboys don't extend him, do y'all know the Cowboys would have done something for George Pickens that he should be eternally grateful for? If George Pickens does what I believe he's going to do this season, the Cowboys have set George Pickens up for the biggest of paydays in 2027. They are setting him up for the biggest of paydays in 2027. The Cowboys know what they're risking. Is George taking a risk? You better believe he is. George is taking a risk, but the Cowboys are taking a risk too. Because if George Pickens balls out the way I think he is, the Cowboys are going to be in a headlock next season. They are either going to have to pay him $32 million, which will be $60 million in 2 seasons. Tell me the wide receiver in reality who is getting $60 million in 2 seasons. Or they're going to have to extend him. And he going to break the bank on them and when they extend him. Or, number 3, he's going to go to another team. We're going to get some draft picks, and he's still going to break the bank. I don't think people understand what the Cowboys are doing. They are still giving George Pickens the opportunity that no one else is willing to give. Now, I would like to see if somebody was willing to give that opportunity to him without those 2 first-round picks attached. Because I do think there would be some teams that would be willing to probably give him somewhere between $36 and $42 million. There probably would be some teams. But guess what? That is not the world that George Pickens is living in right now. George knew this was the chance he was taking when he first got with the Cowboys. The Cowboys knew there was a chance that George is going to rehabilitate and ball out. And so both of those things have actually happened in a sense. It has worked out for the Cowboys. It's worked out for George Pickens. It's going to continue to work out for George Pickens. It's going to continue to work out for the Cowboys. It's going to continue to work out. All George has to do is to continue doing what George is doing. And the Cowboys, that's what they're holding him to. They are saying, keep doing what you're doing. Now, to prove to you what I'm saying, I had to go back and listen to Brian Schottenheimer. And now I'm realizing that Brian Schottenheimer was actually saying this in the press conference that he had here just the other day. And I don't know if y'all picked up on this. If you hadn't watched the video, I'm about to show you where. Listen to Brian Schottenheimer tell you everything that I told you on Saturday. Brian Schottenheimer told you the same thing, and people don't want it. I know a lot of us want George Pickens to get that long-term deal. I'm in that crowd. I've already argued for George to get the long-term deal. But as I told you on Saturday, I don't sign the checks. If I was signing the checks, George would get the long-term deal. But I'm not signing the checks, and neither are any of us. The Cowboys are signing that check for $27.3 million this year. But if you listen to Brian Schottenheimer when he was talking about George Pickens on Saturday, or no, whenever he was talking about him this past week, he was saying the same thing I was saying. We're not looking at George Pickens' past behavior. We're holding him accountable for his current behavior. Some people don't understand that. Some people don't understand that. Some of us have never been to jail before. But I wasn't born a preacher. See, I've been to jail before. I went to jail when I was 18 years old. Did something real stupid. I didn't do no, I didn't commit no. Trust me when I tell you. I didn't commit no crime, like I'm gangster or anything like that. Did something real stupid. Changed the price tag of something that was $5 to $10. And what I was doing, I was trying to run this scam where you could get these coupons, and if it was less than the coupon back in the day, a lot of people don't realize this, but if something was less than the coupon, they would actually give you the cash value of whatever the difference was. So my dumb self, me and a friend, I won't say anything about him. I'm just talking about myself. I'm very transparent. I changed it. I had the money in my pocket to pay for it, but I changed it so that I could get an extra $5. Just to let you know how stupid we are sometimes. Thinking I was about maybe 17 at the time. I think I was 17, getting ready to turn 18. Just how stupid we were at the time. At the mall, shouldn't have been there, hanging out, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But I'm saying all of this to say this. See, a lot of people don't realize something, that when you are someone, and let's say you commit a crime and they say, okay, this is your first time. They put you on probation. You can look at probation in two different ways. You can look at probation as a glass half full or a glass half empty. When I got on probation, I didn't look at probation was they're holding against me the crime I committed. No, I didn't look at it like that. I looked at probation as the glass half full. I can remember like yesterday going to jail. And my mom, being the mom that she was, my mom let me spend the night in jail. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. One day in jail, I was in jail one day. This is when I knew jail was not for me. I knew jail wasn't for me. My mom let me spend the night in jail. And I mean that one night in jail, I mean I'm in the holding tank. I'm in there with dudes in there doing drugs and everything. I'm like, this is jail. You doing drugs? I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. My mom came and got me out of jail. I remember, I'll never forget, she came and got me out of jail that next day. And my stepfather, he told me, he said, well, I wanted to get you out the same day. He said, but your mama wouldn't let me. Your mama said she wanted you to spend the night in jail. And I remember, I said, Mom, why'd you leave me in jail for like 3 or 4 days? My mama looked at me and said, fool, you've only been in jail one day. That's how it was. I felt like I'd been in jail for 3 or 4 days, being in there a day. But when I got out of jail, and when they said they were going to put me on probation, I didn't even blink. I said to myself then, they don't have to worry about me going to jail again. I didn't look at probation as holding against me what I did in the past. I looked at probation as them holding me accountable for who I said that I am. And that we're going to give you the opportunity to keep proving who you are. You can look at that glass half empty, or you can look at that glass half full. Probation is an opportunity for a person who makes a mistake. Probation is an opportunity for that person to prove that that was actually a mistake and this is who they really are. This is what George Pickens is going through right now. There will be people, they will always hold stupid things against you. But when you get the opportunity to prove that you are not what you got in trouble for, when you get the opportunity to prove that, you prove it. You prove it. And it don't matter how we feel about it. Because I can remember that when I first went to jail and then I started applying for jobs, guess what? Do you think that when you apply for a job, you get to tell somebody and say, yeah, man, you know, I made a mistake back then and blah, blah, blah. I made a mistake. You know what? You go through about a year or two of people saying, nah, you went to jail. You went to jail. You went to jail. I don't want to hire you for this job. Y'all don't understand some of y'all understand what I'm telling you. It takes time for people, for society, that when you do things, that when you do certain things, whether it's a crime or not, and what I did was a misdemeanor, Class C misdemeanor. And when the guy stopped me in the mall, he said, we could have just gave you a ticket. Well, why didn't you? Because it was less than $10. They were like, because back then they could give you tickets instead of sending you to jail. He did the whole 9 yards on us. Took us in, called the police, got us arrested, threw the book at us for $5. Think about that. $5. But it is what it is. I appreciate my mom. I wish she was here today. I appreciate my mom. My mom didn't tell me it was only $5. They shouldn't have done that to you. My mom said it was only $5, fool. You shouldn't have been doing what you was doing. My mom, that's how my mom taught me. My mom didn't raise me in ways to feel like that people owe me something, that I deserve something. No, my mom made me understand early on, son, everything you get in this life, it's based on how hard you work and the decisions that you make. And so you can look at it however you want to. I'm just telling you how I see it. That glass is either half full or that glass is half empty. Some people see that glass as half empty. Some people see that glass as half full. I believe when I look at George Pickens, I see a half full glass. And there are some people that's going to look at him and see a half full glass. But I'm telling y'all something that you are missing. The Dallas Cowboys are giving George Pickens an opportunity that a lot of people were not willing to give him. Whether we like him or not. Whether we like what the Cowboys are doing or not, man, they gave him an opportunity. Because I don't think he could have went to another environment and been the man that he is today. This is why I want George Pickens to stay here. Because I believe this is the place for George Pickens. I think this is the place where George Pickens can stay here for 4 or 5 years and be legendary. I believe George Pickens can be legendary in Dallas if he'll just stay here about 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years. But again, we just have to understand what's going on with George Pickens. And I think George Pickens has come to a reality of what his situation is. And that's why he signed that tag. He's come to the reality of what his situation is. It don't matter what anybody is saying. He's come to the reality of what it is. You are not your mistake. You are what you do after your mistake. And it is not, you can't just do it a day, a week, a year. No, you got to do it every day, every week, every year. You got to keep on. You got to keep on. That no matter what anyone says or anybody does, you got to keep doing and being who you are. Because that is truly the only way you change people's mind. It is the only way you do it. And so with George Pickens, I'm telling us, I wish I could be on his advisory team. I just wish I could be on his advisory team. Bro, just keep doing what you're doing. Everything else is going to work itself out. It's going to work itself out. I look at my own life. I could have went down a road of crime, violated my probation, went back to jail, and never lived up to the purpose that God has for me. I could have did that. But I said, no, the glass is half full. And my mom made me understand the mistake that I made and how people see you based on those mistakes. And the only person that could change it was me. Either I'm going to keep on doing good behavior or I'm not. And this is what the Cowboys are saying to George Pickens. We're not worried about Pittsburgh. We brought you into Dallas when nobody else wanted you. Not only did we bring you into Dallas when nobody else wanted you, we're keeping you in Dallas. Because I don't think you can get the payday that you want right now. And especially with a team that you may want to go to. And I'm going to prove that he couldn't get that team. It's obvious that he couldn't get that team based on what I'm about to tell you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to preach y'all a sermon today. But I just want you to understand sometimes that we start thinking how we want people to see us a certain way, or we think what people should be doing. Man, people ain't doing what we think they should be doing. We need to focus on what we're doing, because we can't make anybody do anything or respond in a certain way other than us just keep being who we say that we are. That's all we can do.
Up on some of the install stuff that we're doing, both offensively, defensively.
Justin Barron coming back for this. What do they get out of this? How important is it for them to come out and be a part of this as well?
Yeah, I love having them here. I didn't have of a Trayshawn, Holden, Marcel.
Scott.
Scott Dixon with the AP. First impressions from this side with Christian and Caleb. They both.
All right, hold on. Let me find this section again. I'm gonna find this section because I didn't realize when I heard this the first time, but Brian Schottenheimer was saying the same thing. I want you to check this out. I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Give me just a second.
Last year was amazing, and the more you watch the film and you see it, you're just kind of like, whoa. Like, it's just 25, and hopefully he loves football. I know how much he loves this football team.
This is being handled that could affect his you say he's not excited.
That's not what we plan on doing.
To your knowledge, do you know the front?
Scary, because what he did last year, now it's going to happen. We don't play a game for a long time. Like, we're in the process of evolving, but it doesn't happen here. And George, I think it makes us excited that, you know, we know that we plan on George being.
Is already in place, and you part of the offseason. How important is it to settle at least?
Now, just listen to this part right here. Listen to this part right here. And I didn't catch this the other day when we first listened to it. I want you to listen to what Brian Schottenheimer says right here. Brian Schottenheimer said exactly what I've been telling y'all, but in a different way. The Cowboys, unlike a lot of teams, they're not holding Pittsburgh against George Pickens. They're holding George Pickens to what he did in Dallas one year. And they're basically saying, we want you to do it again. That's all they're saying to him. If you don't believe in a person, you don't give them 27. I know we think that's nothing. But you don't give somebody $27 million when you don't believe in them. Listen to what Brian Schottenheimer says right here.
The mandatory part of the offseason. How important is that to you to get that part of it settled with, you know, all these offensive pieces already in place and you kind of wanting to take that next step with this group?
Yeah, again, I think more than anything, I think it makes us excited that, you know, we know that we plan on George being here, and George, I think, is really excited about coming back. And my word I've used, Skylar, is always evolve. Like, we're in the process of evolving, but it doesn't have to happen tomorrow or a week from now. It's going to happen. We don't play a game for a long time. The more we get back into the installs and things like that, the good news is he's heard that stuff. I just think where he can continue to go and grow is scary, because what he did last year was amazing. And the more you watch the film.
Right there. That part right there. Let me let you hear what Brian said again. This part is significant, what he says.
Stuff. I just think where he can continue to go and grow.
Where he can continue to go and grow. That part right there. That part right there. Whether people like it, love it, or hate it. That part right there. He's saying the same thing that I've been saying. We're not worried about what he did in Pittsburgh. We want to see him continue to grow what he did in Dallas. We want to see him to continue to grow. What did I tell you? Change. Anybody can change for a year. I've seen people do it my whole life. Change isn't something you do in a year. I teach this to people in Bible. Repentance is not a one-time thing. It's a lifetime thing. When you turn from the world and turn towards God, it's a lifetime. When you change, you don't realize. Somebody says, you changed. No, I'm changing. I've changed and I'm still changing. When you are transformed, you're transformed and you're still transforming. Because what I am today is not what I was yesterday. And what I will be tomorrow is not what I am today. Every single day, the change that I have made in my life years ago, I'm changing every single day. And this is what they're saying about George Pickens. We just want to see you do it. No, keep doing it. Keep doing it. And I know people don't like what I'm saying, but you have to keep doing it because you were not being yourself 4 years ago. Because you were not being yourself 4 years ago. And now that you were yourself last year and you're yourself today, we just need you to keep doing it. Keep doing it. I'm going to let you hear Brian say this again. I missed this when I listened to it the first time, but based on things that I've heard, now I'm telling you, Brian was saying the same thing that I've been explaining to y'all. I know we quickly want to go back into negativity and say, oh, this is the way the Cowboys handle contracts. No, I don't think this is the way the Cowboys are handling this contract. I don't think this is the way they're handling this contract. Because this isn't a Michael Parsons issue. No, they're saying, hey, we want you to do it some more because we want to go to the Super Bowl this year. And we believe that you are a huge part of us going to the Super Bowl. Let me tell you something. If the Cowboys didn't believe that George Pickens is a huge part of them going to the Super Bowl, now I realize the Cowboys would have traded George Pickens. Not only would they have traded George Pickens, they would be looking today to trade George Pickens. Especially after what we just heard. They're not trying to trade George Pickens. They understand what he is. And they also understand what he can be. George has just got to prove him right. Listen to Brian again.
Like we're in the process of evolving, but it doesn't have to happen tomorrow or a week from now. It's going to happen. We don't play a game for a long time. The more we get back into the installs and things like that, the good news is he's heard that stuff. I just think where he can continue to go and grow is scary.
Where he can continue to go and grow is scary. He's not just talking about his ability. And he's going to prove that. He's not just talking about his ability. He's talking about the ability and the mentality. That's what he's talking about. The ability and the mentality. The ability that he has on the field, the mentality that he has on the field, and the ability that George now has with the Dallas Cowboys and the mentality that George Pickens has with the Dallas Cowboys, because he has become, unlike in Pittsburgh, George Pickens has become positively influential in the Dallas Cowboys locker room and plans. Stop playing. This is why I tell people, man, we got to learn to not be emotional about things. Don't look at everything emotionally. It's okay to be emotional. Just don't be led by your emotions. Understand what the facts are sometimes, and then we can really get a really good understanding. Listen what he says the rest.
Because what he did last year was amazing, and the more you watch the film and
what he did last year,
you see it, you're just kind of like, whoa. Like, it's different. And we've got a lot of really good football players, and he's certainly at the top of that list along with some of our other studs.
To your knowledge, do you know if the front office has informed him they're not planning on trading him?
No, we've been very upfront with George from the beginning about, hey, we're going to play on the tag and all that stuff, but I don't think there's any reason for us to have that. That's not what we plan on doing. And so at the end of the day, we see George being a part of this football team and having a great 2025 and hopefully beyond.
Just piggybacking on that, you say he's not excited to be here. Is he?
Now, Clarence Hill is about to try to drag out of Brian Schottenheimer, something that Brian Schottenheimer is probably not capable of answering. And I think Brian told him that the first time, but he wanted to try to drag it out of him anyway. But Brian nor I can determine how this is going to affect George Pickens going forward. I just know that if I was a part of George Pickens' advisory team, I would be telling George Pickens as much as I can, don't let this business stuff bother you. I'm just going to tell him what it is, because this is the situation and we can't change it. We tried to change it and we can't change it. So you're going to have to play on the tag and you're going to have to, I mean, are you taking a risk? Yes. But hey, it's high risk, high reward. It's high risk, high reward, and we all understand it. Put your faith in God. Put your faith in work. Put your faith in action. Go out here and do everything you did this year and more and better. And this is going to work out after this season. Heck, it might even work out before the season begins. I'm still holding out the Cowboys may still extend George Pickens. And I say how he handles this from now to July the 15th, I think it's going to have some bearing on the future in Dallas.
You get a sense that he's disappointed in how the business is being handled, that could affect his excitement when he does show up?
I'm not going to speak for GP. I don't think, the business side of it is the business side of it, and so I know how much he loves.
Yeah, he wants Brian to tell him that George Pickens is disappointed. Come on, man. It's not even for Brian to tell that.
Loves football. I know how much he loves this football team, and I'm always going to say this about George because it's real. The influence that he has in that locker room
right
is
there.
Tremendous because
right there. That part right there. That's the part people are missing. They're not just talking about George's athletic ability. They are also now talking about his mental ability, what he is doing in the locker room. Notice what he's talking about. Everything he wasn't in Pittsburgh. They're not holding George accountable for Pittsburgh. They're holding him accountable for who he is now. And we want to see more of that. You have shown us that you are not that guy from Pittsburgh. So keep being that guy in Dallas. And it's going to pay off for you. It's going to pay off for George.
Of two things. The talent is incredible.
Yep.
But how much passion and joy he gets out of playing the game, guys feed off that.
On the field, off the field. On the field, off the field. The person on the field, the person off the field. He's trying to connect it. Even though Clarence is just trying his best to drag out of him that George is going to be disappointed about the money.
That's why I was asking, because, he's going to be here, but we're not negotiating with you. He wants a deal. We can be honest about that, okay?
Of course, yeah.
So he's not getting what he wants.
Yep.
And do you have a sense that it can affect the passion, the joy that he brings to the table?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. And again, I think because George would play this game for $1 as much as he loves football. I mean, he's played this game for, I don't think he was part of the NIL deal. It was George, and maybe he was. Sorry, Kirby. But no, yeah. No, we never did that in Florida. Obviously, you can look at our record and know we're not doing that in Florida. But yeah. Sorry, Gator Nation. Yeah, sorry, Gator Nation. But my point is, like, these guys that love playing the game, they love playing the game. And again, I love pickup football. I used to play in the backyard as much as running out there on Saturdays and Sundays sometimes.
Yeah, I see exactly what Clarence Hill was trying to do. But in the grand scheme of things, let me tell you what he's trying to say about George Pickens in the grand scheme of things. George cannot allow his feelings, if he has ill feelings, he cannot let those ill feelings get in the way of football and playing football. And I'm just going to explain to you briefly why. Because it is his ability to play the game that got him in the situation to be able to make $27 million and hopefully going forward, maybe even $40 million a year. Because do we not understand if George Pickens was trash at playing the game, he wouldn't be making $27 million this year, nor would he have the opportunity to make that or more anywhere else. So first things first, this is why Dak told him don't lose your love for the game, because it's your love of the game. It's your passion. It's your ability. That is what's going to get you paid beyond this situation. So you can't let your feelings, that's why I tell people, don't let your emotions get in the way. Understand the situation and act accordingly. It's called emotional intelligence. Some folk don't have that. That's why they crash out all the time. You got to have emotional intelligence that when you know what the situation is and you know that you can't change the situation other than changing yourself, then that's how you have to proceed. Arguing and fighting and pouting and kicking and screaming, it ain't going to do you no good. It only does you harm. So you have to be emotionally intelligent and understand what got you in this situation. 1, your behavior. 2, you changed. 3, God. And I should put God first. I'll put God 1 and 4. God, your ability, God. You changed it. Now you get to continue to create that narrative. Only you can do it. Only you can do it. But if you let your emotions, this is why I say I'm so glad, man, if I was an advisor for some of these players, do not listen to the fan base. Don't listen to the fan base. And if you do, be very selective. Because some of the fan base would have you out of a job in a heartbeat. So, some of the fan base, media members, they would have you out of a job in a heartbeat. Man, I'm telling you, you got to have the right people around you. Bottom line, you got to have the right people around you. You got to understand what a situation is, and you have to act accordingly. And man, I don't care about fair. Everybody, but it ain't fair, man. If you want fair, go to the fair and get cotton candy. The fair is where you go get cotton candy. That's where you go get funnel cakes and turkey legs and sausage on the stick. Fair is not where you go. That is not where you go if you want to be. Life is not where you go when you want fair. That is not where you go. I'm just telling you. We better be thankful sometimes. We always talk about being fair. Well, what if we got what we deserved? Because a lot of times we don't get what we deserve. We get mercy. We do a whole lot of things and we don't deserve second chances, but we get them. That's grace. That's grace. We get them. We get that mercy and grace. Man, I'm telling you, we got to learn, man. We got to learn. This generation is different. This generation is different. Nah, man. We ain't worried about no doggone fair, bro. You need to understand what the situation is. And I want to go back to this thing that I told y'all last week before I get us up to date on Jeremy Fowler. I told y'all this last week. And I know there were people who were poo-pooing it and just pushing back on Saturday. But I'm going to remind you. I'm not going to tell you I told you so, but I'm definitely going to remind you of what I said. I'm not going to tell you I told you so, but I'm going to remind you of what I said. What did I tell y'all? Did I not tell you that Adam Schefter didn't wake up one day and choose violence? Did I not say this? Did I not say it's not the fact that Adam Schefter told a lie? What did I say? Why did he tell it? Who did he get the information from? People, he probably made it up. Yeah. No. He didn't make it up. He got it from somebody. He got word. Now we know it makes sense. Adam Schefter got word that George Pickens was out there searching for a deal. That's why Adam Schefter wrote this. And that's why, other than Mike Fisher, you didn't hear anybody else coming out hardly rebutting this. Nobody. These people, Adam Schefter is connected whether we like him or not. He's connected. And he's way more connected than Mike Fisher. Mike Fisher is connected to the Cowboys and has some connections. But I'm going to prove to you even again, Mike Fisher, and it's not a knock on Mike Fisher, but they're not going to tell Mike Fisher everything either. They're not going to tell Mike Fisher everything. If y'all don't think the Dallas Cowboys knew what George Pickens was doing before he signed that extension, I got a bridge in London I want to sell you. I got a bridge in London I want to sell you. If y'all don't think the Cowboys knew this, they knew this. Look, he wants a long-term contract or he would like a trade. Schefter reported this because he knew George was out there with his team, or David Mulugeta with his team was trying to seek what offers could they get. And I don't think they were necessarily trying to get a trade. I think they were trying to get some leverage. That's all I can figure. Maybe, hey, you know what? There are some teams that are all willing to do this. Because y'all got to think about this. The period had already passed of them being able to go out there and get a deal. So why now? Why now? As Jeremy Fowler is reporting. Why now? What, he was going to try to force his way out of Dallas? Or he was going to bring a package to the Cowboys and say, hey, please trade me. We have put together a great package. No. Nope. George couldn't find anything when they allowed him. George couldn't find anything when they allowed him to go out there in that period. And then after that period, it has now been proven again. George couldn't find anything. And again, I'm just telling y'all, I'm reading your comments. Y'all worry about the wrong things. Do y'all understand it don't matter if Jerry is emotionally intelligent? Let me help y'all with something, because some of y'all, I see I got to just keep trying to help us all. So I'm on probation. I've been to jail. I've been on probation. I'm just going to tell you about my mom. She is not here anymore. But I'm going to tell you about my mom. Maybe y'all got some different mamas, and I ain't knocking your mama. I'm just telling you how my mama was. My mama made me emotionally intelligent early. When I first started driving, one of the first things my mama told me is if the police stop you, you do everything they tell you to do. So let me ask y'all a question. Is the police always emotionally intelligent? Are you going to depend on the police to be emotionally intelligent, or are you going to be emotionally intelligent? Make your mind up. This is our problem. We keep trying to control people we can't control. The only people we get to control in every situation is ourselves. And I don't care if you like the situation or you don't like the situation. You're in it. And you have to be emotionally intelligent. It is not about other people being emotionally intelligent. It's not about them being emotionally intelligent. These are the very things that get so many people in trouble. These are the things that get so many. They're always worried about how somebody else is acting. My mama told me, don't you worry about how anybody else is acting. All I want you to do is you act right. You act right. My mama always told me those things. We worry about the wrong things. We worry about the wrong things. Jerry Jones is a billionaire. I got news for us. Jerry Jones is a billionaire. He don't need a contract with the Dallas Cowboys. He owns them. He don't have to be emotionally intelligent. He doesn't have to be. No matter what anyone says, Jerry doesn't have to be emotionally intelligent. He owns the Cowboys. But the people under Jerry Jones, they better be emotionally intelligent. They better be. Man, I'm telling us we don't understand what I'm telling us. I'm not worried about anybody else in a situation. All I'm worried about is me. And I'm going to tell you, y'all going to learn something about me. I preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm not interested in people agreeing with me. If I was interested in people agreeing with me, then I wouldn't be telling the truth. I tell you the truth. That's all I'm doing. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You can even hate it. I got respect for everybody on here, but I'm just telling us the cold, hard facts. Jerry don't have to have emotional intelligence. The devil don't have to have emotional intelligence. People around us don't have to have emotional intelligence, but we do. We do. Because I don't get to control the devil. I don't get to control what everybody around me does, but I can tell you what I can control. My response. My response. That's all I can control. And the quicker you understand that, the more successful you're going to be. The quicker you can understand that, the more successful in life you will be. You'll learn how to shut your mouth. Yeah, I'm saying it just like that. You'll learn how to shut your mouth. You'll learn how not to tell everybody what you're going to do. You'll learn how not to crash out in front of folk. You'll learn how to not to do a lot of things. Because every action, there's going to be a reaction. Every action, there's going to be a reaction. So always make sure your actions are righteous. Make sure your actions are righteous. Don't justify people. People will have you broke and poor. Oh, he crashed out. I don't blame him. I would have did the same thing. Well, I guess he gonna be like you then. I guess he gonna be getting him a regular job like me and you then. George Pickens ain't got no regular job, y'all. George Pickens is one of very few wide receivers in the world that can do what he does. And so he has to act accordingly. It ain't about fair. It ain't about right. It's about knowing how to respond. And if you don't own the team, then you go out there and you play the game. That's on the field and off the field. And I want you to see what George did. It says here, Jeremy Fowler is reporting this. It turns out the reason we've all been told about why Dallas Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens didn't sign his franchise tag when he said he would may not have been totally accurate. Sort of accurate, but not totally. Says it turns out that Pickens and his team of advisors went out there on their own to try and engage the trade market. Tell me where this makes sense. What does that make sense? Tell me, where does this really make sense? They had a period. They had a period to where they could actively negotiate with teams. They had a clear period of when they could do it. So why would they not do it before that day? What was that, Thursday? Why would they not do it before Thursday? Somebody help me out. Where does it make sense? That period was over. So basically what they were saying is pull away the tag, and let's just do an outright trade, because you can do that. You can do an outright trade. The Cowboys could rescind the tag and then just do a trade and sign with a team and work out their own trade package. The Cowboys could do that. But the part that doesn't make sense is why. Why on Thursday? Why that weekend? And understand this part that really don't make sense, but it makes sense. Why would you think they would tell the Cowboys they're going to sign the tag, but then wait until after the draft. They waited for after the draft to sign the tag. What would be their motive? Could it be, hey, Dallas, don't draft the wide receiver. We're signing the tag. Hey, Dallas, don't sign a wide receiver because we're signing the tag. Only for them to be out there looking for a deal. What sense does it make? What sense does it make? The time frame for a deal had passed. So hold on a second. You're going to get after the draft, put the Cowboys in a situation to where they didn't draft a wide receiver, and then ask them to trade you when everybody knows that teams out there are wide receiver starved. So you really think the Cowboys are going to trade you in a market where there are no wide receivers left to a team? Stop it. This is pure comedy. This is pure comedy. I'm just being honest with you. I would fire David Mulugeta just based on principle. I'm about to come to some comments. I would fire David Mulugeta based on principle. Bruh, you wait until now. You had all this time that when the Cowboys said this is the period to where you can go and find we're giving you the opportunity to negotiate. You had all that time, and then you wait till the Thursday or the week of the draft, and then you go out and start trying to get a trade? Fired. You fired, bruh. You fired. What? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? This is pure stupidity. It's pure stupidity. You had a period to where you could negotiate. So what did you do? What did you do? Did you sit on your hands and say, don't you worry, George. Teams are going to line up. Teams are going to line up. And they're going to come to you. They're going to come to you. They're going to come to us. They're going to offer the Cowboys 2 first-round picks for you, George, and they're going to pay you $40 million. Stupidity. I'd fire him. I absolutely would fire him. And I would still get my money. No, Dominique, you can say, of course you think. No, I'm telling you logic. Make it make sense, Dominique. I'll wait on you to make it make sense. Why would they wait until the weekend of the draft to go trying to seek a trade when they had all the time in the world? Why would they? There was a specific period to where they could go and make those negotiations, but nowhere did we hear David Mulugeta, George Pickens, and the team are out there actively seeking a trade for George Pickens. Why didn't they do it then? You're fired. That isn't bias. That's bad business. That's bad business, and it's dumb. If he truly wanted George Pickens out of here, or if he wanted George Pickens to be traded, he should have been beating the street. He should have been beating the street the moment the Cowboys said there was no more negotiations. He was already on, and the Cowboys told him before they told us. He had a period that they could have been out there negotiating, trying to find George Pickens a trade out of Dallas. But they wait until there is no period left. There is no period of negotiation left other than you go out, you find the Cowboys a trade partner, and then the Cowboys still hold all the cards because they don't have to do the trade. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is bad business. This is bad business. Dominique, do you not understand? It doesn't have to be 2 first-round picks. If the Cowboys rescind the tag, Dominique, the Cowboys could give George up for whatever they want to. It's dumb. It's bad business. It's bad business. Why would you do it now? And you're really answering your own question. If you say ain't nobody giving up 2 first-round picks for GP, so explain to me again why they were out there beating the streets this past weekend trying to get a deal done. It's bad business all the way around. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. But of course, I know what they're trying to do. It's the only thing that I can make sense of. Find the Cowboys a trade partner. Get the Cowboys to rescind the tag, because the Cowboys can pull it. They could have pulled it anytime they want to before he signed it. Get a trade partner. Get the Cowboys to rescind the tag. And then they go and make the trade that David Mulugeta has negotiated for the Cowboys. Why would the Cowboys allow David Mulugeta to negotiate them a deal again? Why would they do that again? Dominique, you can look, and again, I respect what you're saying. So explain to me, how are you holding him hostage? You're going to pay him $27 million. He gets to continue to show this league that he is who he say he is right now. He gets an opportunity once again to go out there and be Offensive Player of the Year, make a Pro Bowl, make All-Pro. He gets the opportunity to do all of those things. And then next year, he gets a $32 million, franchise tag again that I'm sure the Cowboys are not going to pay. He gets to go out there and break the bank next year. Explain to me how that's being held hostage. Explain it to me. This is the deal the CBA. This is the deal the Players Association signed. This isn't a Jerry Jones thing. This is a Player Association thing. This is the deal this is what they all negotiated for these situations to actually come to a head. If I'm George Pickens, I'm sorry, I would have to fire this man. This has got to be one of the dumbest things. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is how I know the Cowboys don't want to trade George Pickens. The Cowboys understand they're not holding George Pickens as hostage as we think. They know he's a part of a Super Bowl. Stop it. They know he's a part of a Super Bowl. This isn't about George Pickens lining up. No, they know. When George Pickens lines up out there for the whole season, we have an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. They believe this. The Cowboys have 2 difference makers on offense. Two difference makers on this team they just acquired recently. On offense, they got a lot of difference makers. We already know they got Lamb, they got Dak, Williams. They got Smith. They got Booker. We could go down the line. But the 2 most recent acquisitions, George Pickens changes your offense. He makes that offense high octane. Caleb Downs makes that offense high octane. They're not letting go of George Pickens. And I'm not sure they're going to let him go beyond this year. I'm not sure. I don't think they're going to do it. If George goes out there and balls out, they are going to put a deal on that table. They will put a deal on that table. The issue is when they put that deal on the table, as somebody has mentioned before, when they put that deal on the table, how much longer does CeeDee Lamb have? Because you ain't going to pay George $40-something million and keep CeeDee Lamb around for $30-something million when CeeDee Lamb himself is going to command $40-something million if you gave George $40-something million with the performance that CeeDee Lamb has put up over the years and what he is going to put up going forward. You're not going to do it. Not going to do it. So I just want us all to understand what we're asking for. It's one thing when you got one wide receiver at $34 million, another at $27 million. Man, you get one at 40-something million and another one at 30-something million. It ain't happening. It's just not happening. But at the end of the day, the only thing George can concern himself with is this season, because that's the cards he's been dealt. It says right here, well, my understanding is Pickens at least looked around, gauged his market, what a potential trade could look like if he could come to one with compensation and a new deal, Fowler said on SportsCenter. He wants a long-term contract, so this isn't an ideal situation for him, but he signed the tag because it locked him into a $27 million guarantee. It sounds like he's going to have to do one more year to get that big payday down the road. Yeah, because you know what they said? It's simple. Teams are not going to wreck their draft and their salary cap. They're not going to do it. And it's not a George Pickens thing. It's a history thing. Only a handful of teams have ever given up 2 first-round picks for a wide receiver. It just makes sense. Frank Lawrence said, you guys watch all the games. George Pickens staying. I believe so, too. Ronnie Dub, he said GP bet on himself last year for less than $4 million. Why wouldn't he now? Not saying he's not worth it. Ronnie Dub, that's the part that people miss in the discussion. I truly believe that George Pickens is a $40+ million a year receiver because I'm taking him over Jackson Smith and Jigba in every single situation. Jackson Smith and Jigba is not better than George Pickens. I don't even think he's equal. He's not better than George Pickens. I would pick George Pickens every single day over Jackson Smith and Jigba. But that's not the world that we live in. George Pickens is with the Cowboys. Jackson Smith and Jigba is with the team that drafted him. If George Pickens had been with the team that drafted him, I do believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers would have made him a $40+ million receiver. Especially, but it's their fault because they haven't gotten a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger. Frank Lawrence said, rumor paying GP shopping number 88. Don't believe it. Rumors. Yeah. I believe David Mulugeta was out there trying to do his thing, but I think the Cowboys have said, no, man. We're not trading George Pickens. And they mean it. They're not trading George Pickens. And they're saying no because George is going to help us get to a Super Bowl, whether it be this year or next. Sub-Zero Prime said, I personally think that the Cowboys are negotiating with GP, but want to keep the media out. If they can, GP could get signed before the season starts. Sub-Zero, I keep saying it. I still believe he may get signed before July the 15th. I still believe it. Gene Martz, he said, G, you on a roll tonight. Appreciate you, Gene Martz. Again, man, I'm just telling us, I don't think this is what people think it is. No, the Cowboys want George Pickens here. Bottom line, they want him here. They want him here. All they're saying, George, keep doing it. George, just keep doing what you're doing, man. That's all we want you to do. Just keep doing what you're doing. Ron Bowski said, you're going to pay me $27 million to play a sport. Sign me up for that hostage deal. I'm going to Stockholm Syndrome real fast. Yes, sir. Bass said, I doubt they tag nor extend him next season. Yeah, I think they're going to extend him. That tag price rises to over $30 million. They're not going to pay Pickens $60 million in just 2 measly years, especially if they're resistant to now to pay him. They're in a pickle. They're actually in a pickle. The Cowboys know that George Pickens can really help them get to a Super Bowl. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And the Cowboys are giving him the platform to prove that he's worth $40 million. I mean, we might not realize this, but the Cowboys are putting themselves in a chokehold too. They're going to try to, I'm just telling you, if they're not going to extend George Pickens, then they're saying we're going for it this year. We got to get the Super Bowl this year. Because they will not, I don't think they'll tag him next year. I think there's a possibility they could extend him. I think, and it all depends on if George is willing to take a team discount. But at the same time, it depends on how George feels. George may say, no deal. He could flat out say, no deal. Franchise tag or nothing. George could flat out say that. Franchise tag or nothing. Forcing the Dallas Cowboys to then move him out of Dallas. But he got to stay in this year. He just got to stay in this year. Bass said, I think Jerry going to let him walk for picks. If he does, it'll be next year. Now, there is a wide receiver coming out next year, but the problem is the Dallas Cowboys aren't going to get him. I mean, the Cowboys can't get him. I forgot this wide receiver's name everybody's been talking about. There's a big time. Oh, Jeremiah Smith. Cowboys won't be able to get Jeremiah Smith. I mean, they're not going to be able to get him. If the Cowboys do as good as they think they're going to do this year, they're not going to be in the running for these guys right here. They're not going to be in the running for Jeremiah Smith, Cam Coleman, Ryan Williams. They're not going to be in the running for those dudes. They're just not. They're not going to be in the, I mean, look at these wide receivers, man. This next year's class, this is why everybody is talking about this next year's class and why people don't want to give up draft picks coming up next year. I mean, just look at the top 5 wide receivers in the 2027 draft. I want you to look at the weight, the height, and the 40-yard dashes that they're, I mean, look at the 40 yards they're running. Jeremiah Smith, 223, 6'3", or 4'3", You don't think this dude is moving? Man, this dude is moving. This is going to be an elite level wide receiver. People are not giving up the opportunity to get a Jeremiah Smith. Cam Coleman, 6'3", 4'4", Ryan Williams, 175, 6 feet, 4'28". TJ Moore, 200 pounds, 6'3", 4'4". I mean, man, these guys, Bryant Wesco, 6'2", 4'40". I mean, no, they're not getting those guys. They're not going to be able to get those guys. And George Pickens is going to make sure they're not going to be able to do that. Cowboys won't even be in the running for some of these wide receivers right here. They won't even be in the running. So the Cowboys are putting themselves in a pickle too. Because if they're not going to extend George Pickens next year, then they're saying we got to go for it this year while we got George Pickens. This is a pickle for them too. Lynn said that's why people don't understand the CBA. Is what the players agreed upon, so this is not the owners of Jerry's fault. Nah. If we understand the business, we understand it's the business. It's the business. Christian Legal, I would have fired my agent. Me too. Should have been already looking for him. Don't go for a trade now. Don't go look for a trade now. Should have been looking for a trade. What, you thought the Cowboys were playing? You thought the Cowboys were playing that George was going to play on the tag. Man, you should have immediately. And as a matter of fact, he had a whole period before then. A whole period. What's going on, Rolando? South Texas, good to see you. Tatiana said they'll pick CD over. She said she think they'll pick CD over Pickens. Look out, I'm still of the opinion. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't. Merrill Ray said, get through a $27 million year and don't miss a first half in Vegas for disciplinary reasons. Pickens still has character issues to squash. Talent is not the question. Yeah, Merrill Ray, I think the Cowboys are saying we want you to just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Rombowski said, if you're going to get me to rescind the tag so you can get off giving me those 2 first-round picks, then you better be giving me an all-pro, the likes of Myles Garrett, draft capital too. Yep. Angie says, CD messed around and hired David for his next contract. I'm wondering if he's with Athletes First. I'm wondering if he's with, he may not be with Athletes First. Brandon Cubb said, Mulligan and GP saw there was nobody jumping at $40 million. Plus, where you playing if they do? Not a contender, or you won't be number 1 if you could. But we are contenders. Man, I'm telling you right now, this is the best place for George Pickens. This is the best place for George Pickens. Bottom line, this is the best place for George Pickens, and I believe George Pickens knows this. This is the best place for George Pickens to be. This is the best place for George Pickens to be, and I think he knows it. Angie said being loyal don't always benefit you. Be loyal to yourself, Angie. Be loyal to yourself. That's all you have to do. Be loyal to yourself. These players, to a fault, they're loyal to their agents. You don't have to be loyal to an agent. You don't have to be loyal to a team. Be loyal to yourself. Don't do what's in the best interest for your agent. Don't do what's in the best interest of the team. You do what's in the best interest of yourself. You tell yourself, you ask yourself, what do you want? Ask yourself that. I'll never forget when Tyler Smith said this about Micah Parsons. Ty Smith said something that is so powerful about Micah Parsons after he signed that deal. It is poetic. He said Micah Parsons got what he wanted. And I quote, Micah Parsons got what he wanted. Michael Parsons went from saying, I don't have to be the highest paid player in my position or be the highest paid player in the league to saying, I want to be the highest paid player in the league. And Ty Smith said he got what he wanted. I've learned, be loyal to yourself. Ask yourself what you want. This is our issue. I'm just telling us. We keep making this about everyone else. It's not about everyone else. In your own life, it is not about everyone else. It is about you first. It's about God. It's about you. And where do y'all want to go? Be loyal to yourself. You don't have to be loyal to people. Be loyal to yourself. Tell yourself what you want. And how do I get there? How do I get to what I want? And be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to that. And do it with integrity. Be loyal to that. And if being loyal to yourself is getting the money, then understand something. Getting the money might get you out of Dallas. If staying in Dallas is what you want to do, then understand what you got to do to stay in Dallas. This is simple to me. This is life. This is absolute life. Don't be loyal to people. This is our issue. We make it about everybody else. It's about you. If you believe in God, when you stand before God, it's going to be between you and God. You're not going to be able to tell God, David Mulugeta did this. I'm not going to be able to tell God that somebody did this and somebody did that and the devil made me do it. God going to say, no, I'm not worried about what the devil made you do. I'm concerned about what you did. Because you had a choice. Issue is we don't like the consequences of the choices. We don't like the consequences of the choices because the consequences of the choices mean that we may not get what we want. The consequences of the choices is we don't get what we think we deserve. No, that's not what consequences are. When you are true to yourself, you're willing to go with whatever those consequences are, whether they be good or bad. I'm just telling us life. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just telling us life. So all I'm telling us is life. Ron Bosky said they won't tag 2 years in a row because it's going to be closer to 35 million. Yeah, I think it'll be 32 something million. And there's no cap flexibility. So if George goes down for the season due to injury, there's no relief under the cap to adjust. And this is the situation that he's in. George got to be true to himself. He's got to understand what this is. And at the end of the day, there's no way out of it for him. I mean, for every argument, what is the way out of it? There's no way out of it. George just needs to do what he's been doing. Put the Cowboys in a headlock next year. They're either going to extend you or trade you. They're going to extend you or trade you. And while there'll be teams that will want Jeremiah Smith, there will also be teams that say, hey, we'll go with George Pickens. Buffalo Bills next year might say, hey, man, we're willing to go with George Pickens, man. We're going to give the Dallas Cowboys 2 first-round picks and a second because Josh Allen is getting towards the end. We need to get him a wide receiver like George Pickens. Just telling us. All right, let me get down to the bottom here. Rodney said, hey, Uncle G, not $40 million for a 1-year breakout year. Just give him 33. I think George is going to break the bank. I do. I think he's going to break the bank next year. Marvin May said Cowboys' future wide receiver may already be on the team. We have some good wide receivers already on the team. The issue is Marvin Mays, though, George Pickens is a game changer. George is a game changer. I don't even think next year any of these rookie wide receivers will be close to what George is probably going to be this year. I don't think they're going to be close. I mean, George is a game changer. Bottom line, the Cowboys have really got to think. The Cowboys are putting themselves in the pickle too, because I'm telling you, if George comes in here and balls out, man, how do you replace that production? How do you replace that production, man? That's going to be a tall glass to fill. But I'll tell you this at the end of the day. Do I agree with the fact of where George Pickens is? No. I don't agree with it. I wish George Pickens could get paid. I actually wish George could get extended. I wish they would extend George Pickens right now. And I'm still holding out hope that they extend it. I'm just holding out hope. I'm just holding out hope that the Cowboys extend him and figure out how to get this all figured out. But at the end of the day, I still say George is going to win in the end. George is going to win. George stays healthy. George wins. George wins because there's no way the Cowboys are going to. I just don't think they'll franchise tag him again. They either going to poo-poo or get off the pot, bottom line. They either going to poo-poo. They either going to poo-poo or get off the pot because George, I believe he'll be even more determined this year. I believe he'll be more determined this year. Tatiana, let me tell you something. One of the things that Solomon talks about in Ecclesiastes, man, money solves a lot of problems. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna even lie. Money solves a lot of problems. But money don't bring you happiness. That's the problem. Money don't always bring you happiness. Because what good does it do to get the money? What good does it do to get the money that you want? You get the money that you want, but you don't get what you really want. It's one thing to get money, it's another thing to get what you want, and another thing to get what you need. I agree with you. I believe I know he's unhappy. No, he's unhappy. There's no way you could be happy in Green Bay and left your brothers in Dallas. There's just no way. There's no way. Merrill Ray said if it was my money and I was going to make GP a multimillionaire in 6 months, 6 months work, play. Yeah, now me, I would pay him. It would go without saying with me. Jerry Best said, that's why I've been saying it. It's the player's decisions, not the agents. Man up and make a choice you want for you, not what the agent or team. David Mulugeta works for the player, not the other way around. What are we doing? Man, people act like David Mulugeta is like George works for David, but he doesn't. Demetrius says, Demetrius Noel, what's going on? He said, Mulugeta is going to cost his clients big time once he develops the reputation of getting his players big money, but no results on the field. You said a mouthful right there, Demetrius Noel. Demetrius Noel, let me tell you something. I think you make a great point. Every player that signs with David Mulugeta, they're going to have to ask themselves, do they like the game or do they like what the game can do for them? Do they want to win Super Bowls or do they want to be the highest paid? They're going to have to ask themselves that. That's really what they're going to have to ask themselves. Bottom line. Because with David Mulugeta, I already told you, his favorite team is Benjamin Franklin. That's it. His favorite team is Benjamin Franklin. Mills, what's going on? The ladies in the chat have missed you, Mills. What's going on? Good to see you today. Chris Legal, I honestly believe that if George goes out and does what he did last year and the Cowboys make it, not even to the Super Bowl, but to the NFC Championship, he's going to get that extension. I do too. I think he's going to get it. And I think he may take the pay cut to get it. Because I'm telling you right now, if I was him, I wouldn't be caring about the glitz and the glamour. Man, just give me $75 million guaranteed. I'm good to go. Give me $75 million guaranteed. I'm good to go. Frank Lawrence said Michael Parsons blew up his spot, a nationally recognized star player in Dallas for a couple of few $1 million. Now he's an edge on injured reserve. Yeah, he'll never. Man, it would have been. He's got to be miserable over there. But again, hey, man. I guess it's okay to be miserable sleeping on a bed full of money. I guess when you look at the bank, you be like, shoot, man. You look at the bank, man. You be like, hey, man, I'm miserable, but I ain't broke. I guess that's how you look at it. All right, guys. So let's move on. George Pickens is a Dallas Cowboy, and I am ecstatic about it. I don't care nothing about going past this year at this point. I'm more concerned about this season. I'm glad that George Pickens is a Dallas Cowboy. I hope he go out there and give it his all, and I hope he has the most incredible year ever. I hope come next year he break the doggone bank. I do, whether it be with the Cowboys or somebody else. Control yourself and control your destiny. All right, let's listen to Joseph Hoyt. Hoyt is going to talk about some of the things, rookie minicamp. I think he's going to talk a little bit about George Pickens at the end. Let's check this out. I appreciate y'all rocking with me today.
Just now here in the nation, and a good afternoon, Joseph. How the heck are you? I'm doing well, fellas, but I wish you would have told me where you guys were at, because I would have loved to do a little Mexican food and some margaritas after work, of course. But this sounds like a great time.
Yeah, well, we got 4 hours remaining in this show, Joe, so we would love to see you and talk even more Cowboys with you. Of course, the big news coming out of the weekend is the rookie minicamp.
Says the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, no doubt.
What was the biggest takeaway from that 48-hour experience for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just kind of seeing a lot of these rookies, in the Cowboys kind of ether. I think one thing that people, say across the NFL is you don't really know what you have until you have them in their building. And I think in terms of like Caleb Downs, for example, that's a guy that lived up to everything so far. Obviously, it's early on, as advertised, though. I think, we kind of wrote about it right after the draft, but this is a guy that prepared.
Come on, man. Y'all didn't get rid of Mills, did you? Come on now. I thought y'all loved Mills. Now, come on, man. Y'all didn't get rid of Mills, did you? Thought y'all loved that the comic relief with Mills. Come on now.
For college defenses when he was a high school recruit.
Thought y'all loved Mills.
Visit these different schools. He did the same thing in the transfer portal. Before the draft, he did it with 5 to 6 NFL teams.
Yeah, he gets fired more together.
In the chance that he ended up with the Cowboys. Obviously, that worked out. And this is the guy that Devin Moore said that Caleb Downs has the playbook down already. And it was kind of implementing it and going through install with it. I think that might have been the most impressive thing, is that Caleb Downs, with high expectations and obviously without a lot of on-field work, the mental side kind of lived up to what we expected.
It seems like Christian Parker, as a coach,
gets
onto the field and is teaching individual techniques. Quite a bit. All
right, hold on,
man.
Let me see if I can do it.
I've been used to with defensive coordinators. What have you seen on that topic?
Yeah, no doubt. I think one of the things that, I talked to Zach Bond at the Pro Bowl about was how Christian Parker worked with him specifically, right? And yeah, we think of Christian Parker as this corner
she said, bring back
developer,
Mills.
The secondary guru.
Right,
but he said he was doing so much with the linebackers as well, and you saw that in action. Yeah, he was working with Caleb Downs. Yeah, he was working with Devin Moore, but he was working with Jay Sean Barham too, really, purposefully on little details. And that's a guy that was compared to Zach Bond by the Cowboys front office in terms of how they might utilize him. So I think that was cool to see with Christian Parker, was just how hands-on he was with not only the corners in Caleb Downs, but also some of those linebackers as well.
All right, so you brought up Jay Sean Barham. How were you feeling during your interaction with him when you asked him? Did you ever?
Y'all tell me in the chat, how are y'all feeling about this Cowboys rookie minicamp? I mean, I'm kind of like, I don't know how do you get really hyped up about the rookie mini camp when you're just kind of out there, shorts and a jersey, and I guess you're kind of just going through the motions, and the practices are about an hour, maybe a little over. I mean, I'm just kind of struggling. I'm struggling with, I don't know, maybe these guys saw more than what we saw, but I'm very I'm kind of struggling with, how do you be excited coming out of the rookie mini camp? How do you be excited? Other than Caleb, now I got to say I am impressed with Caleb Downs. The fact that Moore said that he already knows the entire playbook, playing multiple positions, and the players are already asking him and taking directions on where to line up and where to go. I can see everybody being impressed with Caleb Downs. He seems to be as advertised as far as the brain power goes. I'm just not, I don't know, we hadn't seen a lot of, drills and a lot of them in action in the formations, and that's the part where I'm kind of struggling.
Run an Oklahoma drill, and he looks you dead in the eyes and says, we can do one right now. And I know you have that warrior competitive spirit about you, Joe. Have you gotten back in the weight room? Are you preparing to make this happen in Oxnard?
Oh yeah, I did some combine workouts. I'm ready to roll. No, it was funny because I said, yeah, let's do it. I'm ready to go. And I was kind of expecting like a haha, LOL. That's kind of funny, right? Jay Sean had this stone cold face of like, no, I'm serious. Like, let's strap up and go. And I think, honestly, it could have been anyone asking that question, or anyone even kind of flirting with the idea of going up against him. This is the guy.
Okay, yeah, bro, Basket, it's not just rookie minicamp, but all of OTAs. They're simply glorified drill sessions And what do you want? And what you don't want to see is a player going down from an injury. Now, this is the thing. This is why I said already, Rombowski. I'm going to tell you what my litmus test is going to be for the Dallas Cowboys. And I told y'all this last week. The Los Angeles Rams ran all up and down and through the Dallas Cowboys. Ran all up and down through them. I mean, they really gave us a preview of what the Dallas Cowboys really were. I mean, they really did. They gave us a preview of what the Cowboys defense was going to look like. I mean, the offense, they were moving the ball up and down the field. And then when we got to the defense, shoot, they shredded us. They let us know what our defense really looked like. So for me, I mean, you know, we already know that these guys, the Cowboys, got us some good athletes. Sounds like they got some very good brains on them. You know, got some good brains. But I think the litmus test is I want to see what they look like against the opposition. Man, do y'all remember the things they were saying about the dude, Kyer Elam? Oh, Kyer Elam was the best defensive back in camp. He was the best defensive back in camp until we got to that Los Angeles Rams game and until we got to the preseason. Shoot. Now, I want to see what they look like when they truly line up. I want to see what they look like when they truly line up. Marvin Mays said, so we need to return that favor and show the Rams what we look like. Yeah, hey, Marvin Mays, remember last year? Yeah, man. Yeah, we going to look vanilla. Shoot. You can say you look vanilla all you want to. Shoot, if you were vanilla, then the Rams was a banana split. They came up in there with strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, caramel, chocolate, almonds on top. I mean, whipped cream, 3 cherries on top, double bananas. Man, don't you ever come up in that thing talking about y'all vanilla again. Man, no, don't you ever do that again. And Rams showed us up. So my litmus test is going to be Oxnard, California with the Rams. That's going to be my true litmus test because us going up against us is not good enough. Us going up against us is definitely not good enough. So, but again, I mean, I guess they can be excited about it.
It's physical, he's serious, and I'll tell you what, he is everything of the 6'5", 6'4", 245 pounds that he's listed as. I don't think the Cowboys have had a linebacker on the inside this big in quite some time. You know, to kind of get a little bit of insight into his psyche, he compared himself he said he wanted to be like 3 different linebackers: Ray Lewis, Azeez Al-Shaair, and Fred Warner. Fred Warner is more of an admiration for him, what he wants to be. He says that he's a hard hitter, take your head off kind of guy like Azeez Al-Shaair right now. So I don't know if I do want to be on the receiving end of that, if we're being completely honest.
He's violent, man. He really, really is. Where everybody was kind of what you got to see lined up, what they were doing with some of these guys, did anything stand out to you of maybe where they were working position group-wise?
I think one of the interesting things was Drew Sheldon working at guard. And obviously they're kind of in the distance, if you're familiar with the Cowboys practice, how the offensive line is the farthest away from Cowboys media. But the fact that they're kind of putting him there, too, to work a little bit, I thought was interesting. You know, the way that they talked about him from an athletic standpoint, this is someone that makes me think that could be a developmental Terrence Steele replacement at right tackle, specifically down the line. But I think the fact that they used him at guard and they'll probably do the same at training camp is kind of interesting as well. And then Devin Moore's height is something that stuck out to me, too. I'm wondering how, you know, in a versatile secondary, what they really see from him. Is he only an outside boundary corner, or can he do multiple things? I think that's something that piqued my interest, too.
Hey, Joe, I have a question. After watching these clips of things that happen in the war room, do you have a better feeling of, like, Stephen Jones and how they operate? You know, like him...
JCT Slice, he said LaShawn McCoy admitted today he's biased for Josh Allen. He said laugh out loud, took him long enough. Oh, and by the way, JCT Slice finished that up with, G, you skipping comments. Yeah. Rodney Evans, he said, G, they wasn't vanilla, they were cream puffs. Hey, man, I'm telling you what my litmus test is. I'm telling you what my litmus test is. I want to see I want to see the Rams, man. You got to show me the Rams. Yeah, I'm already laughing, Tatiana. I'm already laughing. JCT Slice. I have to make sure. I'm going to make sure I always put that in there whenever I read JCT Slice. I got to read. Hey, Edge, I got to read every time. G skipping comments. We got to always read that afterwards. What up, Chanel? Yeah, you ain't lying. Bro, make a clothing line.
Basically telling everybody to shut the hell up, and how calmly he handled that, because I've been in that situation too where you're down on the clock, but it seemed like the trades he made, just kind of, I think it painted Stephen Jones in a little bit of a better light for Cowboy fans, you think?
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with you, Brian. And I think it was interesting to just see kind of the handle that they had in moments of intense, intensity, I guess you could say, because, they'd obviously done the groundwork and laid things with the Eagles.
Oh, you talking about Puka Nacua? Oh, I think he'll be there by then. The Rams done put Puka Nacua in rehab just so they can give him that contract.
In terms of potential trade partners. And I think the fact that they offered Miami first, a fifth rounder kind of early on the clock, said, hey, it didn't go well.
Newhouse fam, I saw that 40.
And they had the idea that someone might jump ahead of them to take Caleb
What's
Downs.
What's up, Cowboy Mike?
What heartbreak that could have. Brian Schottenheimer had that list. I think just the ability to look at the board, say, hey, here's how many points it would take to get up. Let's offer another fifth. Let's go over the top and do this just to secure our guy, even if there's only 10 seconds remaining. Because I think you can look at that and also say, hey, maybe they gave up too much just to move up one spot when they were 10 seconds away from getting Caleb Downs anyways. But if they're sitting there and Caleb Downs gets taken by someone else who made that trade within 10 seconds, I think we're talking a little bit different about that Dallas Cowboys first round.
Might have had a Stephen Jones.
This Miami trade that they're talking about, the Cowboys made, it seems to be very clear. The Miami Dolphins were not going to get Caleb Downs. What the Cowboys were afraid of is somebody was going to make a call and make a better offer, I guess, for Caleb Downs, or either match the offer. And the Cowboys said, nah, we can't do it. We can't do it. So they wound up giving an extra fifth-round pick for him.
Behind-the-scenes crash out there.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Tatiana, I promise you I'm working on it.
A draft day movie kind of scene playing out.
I had a T-shirt thing all together. I had a T-shirt thing one time, but it was the print-on-demand stuff, and I just didn't like the quality of the print-on-demand. So what I'm going to be doing over the next 2 to 3 months is I'm going to get my own setup at the house. I'm going to get a really nice T-shirt press machine and all of that stuff, and then I'm going to do it all from the house this time rather than outsourcing it, because you just can't control the quality. So that's what I wanted to control. This next go round, I want to control the quality. So I got y'all.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty impressive and some good behind the scenes stuff for sure.
And I'm gonna make sure y'all admins get some free stuff for sure. Make sure y'all get some free stuff when I start making shirts and everything.
He was smooth, he was in control, and he was nice. He was nice to people. So
yes,
it was
sir.
a good look
I got you, Newhouse
for
fam.
Stephen Jones. Do you think if there was a dramatic moment or a bad moment, the NFL would show that, or do you think that the teams sort of have some Ed
just said, here's a donation, and out of JCT Slice, here's a donation for the G Skipping Comments T-shirt. Yeah, we gotta have that.
Editorial authority when it comes to that stuff, Brian. Joe.
I would guess, yeah.
Yeah, it was to me.
Yep, definitely gonna get that shirt for sure.
When you got the New York,
gotta get
the
that
trade
what shirt
table saying they got to make a pick.
Yeah.
That's what they were going to let
we got
them
it coming, Chris Legal.
Screw up.
Yeah.
They Dallas had to follow through, and they were able to get it through. So, yeah, that I think that part of it is, the parts that you don't see. But yeah, Dallas was able to kind of rally after all that and just get the pick in when they needed to.
You think they got so excited and locked in on the trade that they?
All right, Ballos. He said each year we all get one player we're rooting for, and for me this year it's Shiaz Pete. Freaking massive and first Navajo Nation member to play in the NFL. All right, Ballos, are you Indian? Are you Indian? Book it T-shirts too, yeah. I see you, Ed. You book it, yeah. Ballos, are you Indian? My grandmother, I don't know. A lot of black folks are probably part Indian. Or at least they were told they were part Indian. My grandmother was a Cherokee. She was a Cherokee Indian. You could tell too, boy. You could tell she was a Cherokee Indian. Yeah, we're gonna listen to an interview with him earlier. Okay, I saw a picture of that. I'm gonna make sure we listen to an interview of him. Rambow said, I'm often wondered about the quality and the merchandise sold by YouTube channels. You could tell it's all outsourced, so thanks for the insight on the bad quality. Yes, yeah, I used to sell Christian t-shirts, and then when I started seeing the quality of them, I stopped selling them. And I was like, oh no. They was just terrible, man. Shirts were terrible. And yeah, I'm gonna do it all myself this next go around. I'm gonna make sure I get that going in the next 2 to 3 months. Like I said, gonna get my all my own stuff, even the shirts. I'm gonna get some high quality shirts and everything, because I'm telling you, man, when you outsource stuff, man, them shirts, man, they be paper thin, and then they be selling them. You know, then by the time you buy them, you have to charge $30 to even make $1. So it's just not worth it. So this time, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get some very high quality t-shirts, high quality graphics, and everything I can control. So whenever I start getting that stuff out, so y'all mods will be y'all gonna be the test. I ain't gonna call y'all the test dummies. Y'all gonna be the test people. And y'all gonna let me know what that quality is. Cause I'm telling you, that stuff was terrible that I used to send out. All right, Newhouse fam said my great grandmother was too. G, full-blooded Cherokee. Yeah, man. Yeah, my grandmother was. You could tell too. Tell, man. Oof. Rambowski said, I'm out for a t-shirt that says at Mills has been timed out for 86,000 seconds. Okay. Bolo said, nah, G, I'm Mexican as far as I know of. Okay. Hey, you might want to check, because a lot of folks in Texas, they part Indian, man. That was the thing when I was growing up. Everybody be talking about, yeah, I'm part Indian. They just said, G, next YouTube channel is going to be how to make t-shirts for you. Now that's funny, DC. That is hilarious. How to make t-shirts for your YouTube channel, boy. That's hilarious.
Almost forgot to turn that pick in.
I think Steven immediately, he learned from the Roy Williams trade that we did in 03, or that draft, I think it was in 03, where it, like, we were on the clock, and
you know, you're not just placing a typical green dot linebacker in and saying, okay, this is the guy that's done it before, let's do it. Ironically, a guy that's done it before, they did add in Curtis Robinson, who did it next to D. Winters last year in San Francisco.
I got you, Mr.
One
C.
of 3 guys that did it.
Terrible.
So I
Terrible
do think if you're looking at who might do it, part of me thinks D. Winters will get the first crack. And,
I got
being
you,
next
boy.
to Fred Warner, having Curtis Robinson to guide him, you know, as a potential veteran asset there, now in the Cowboys locker room. But, you know, Shotty's also brought up Jalen Thompson as someone who could do it. DeMarvion Overshown has obviously been working with Scott Simons longer than anyone now on this Cowboys roster. And then, you know, I know they ruled it out initially, but if Caleb Downs is this savant IQ, and I know he's going to have shifts and motion checks to kind of handle on his own in the secondary, but if he's this savant and can do what he's doing, I wouldn't rule it out, honestly.
So what do y'all think about this thing? They're talking about Caleb Downs could be the Mike. I mean...
Joseph, one thing that kind of stood out to me was the Cowboys did come away with this draft without taking a running back. Now, they did sign a free agent, and then they brought in Barry Switzer's grandson as well. But what do you think about the depth behind Javonte Williams, and was that kind of a sign that maybe they are really high on Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa?
Phil Maffa.
Yeah, I think Phil Maffa specifically. I think that they almost look at Phil Maffa as a
Tatiana, I couldn't
2026
find
draft pick, right? And obviously he got in at the end of last season, but this is someone that they loved. You know,
I couldn't find Mills. I was trying to find him. He lost in the chat.
53-man cut day. I think it's kind of telling about what they think about you and how they don't want you
to
end
up
in the free agent market, right? And I think there might have been some suitors out there. So I think it's not only a compliment specifically to Phil Maffa, I think it's also a testament to what they think about Malik Davis. What Malik Davis did last year was not easy, right? To go from being cut, you know, and then coming late into training camp, and then, you know, being a practice squad guy, settling in as the backup personal protector, and then popping off some big runs when you're called upon. I think that impressed a lot of people in the building.
Joseph Hoyt, Morning News
What up,
here.
Uncle Charles?
How much Navajo Nation history are we making here with Mr. Pete?
Hold on, Barlos. We're about to hear about Pete. Uncle Charles said they need to go ahead and sign Pickens. I agree. Can be double teams. Let me see here. Can be double teams on ones or 1-on-3. He the best receiver in the game, and you want to play games. If it was up to me, he'd already be signed. But again, it ain't up to me. You already know it ain't up to me.
I mean, he's the first one to have a crack at the NFL, and I had to do some research just to make sure, because there's been plenty of Native American athletes, in professional football. But in terms of the Navajo Nation specifically, this is something big. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you guys watched the interview. And
yes, sir, Bass. Red now.
Awesome.
Go back and watch it, man. He's incredible.
Wise,
light, nice, and very wise. And I'll tell you what, I mean, this is a guy that was a preferred walk-on at 6'8", coming out of a small school in New Mexico, went to New Mexico State, earned his stripes, and then became a really sought-after guy in the portal who started 12 games
what
as
up,
left
Mike
tackle in the SEC. Like, I don't know if this is someone just to ride off for being nice
yes, sir.
and a good story. I'm very, very curious to see what he does when training camp does roll around.
Does it seem like they're prospecting or churning tackles and trying to find the next class of guys more so than usual?
I think so, and without, devoting the resources they usually do, right? Like, they usually, if you look at recent past, it's first-round pick here, first-round pick, and yet they still are entering the season with a major question mark at left tackle specifically.
I agree, Frank Lawrence.
I don't think that we're going to be talking about Drew Shelton or Shiaj Pete as potential left tackle replacements, right? But I think that they want some competition there.
No doubt about it,
It kind of comes with the territory when Tyler Guyton hasn't been consistently on the field,
sir.
or hasn't been consistent when he's been on the field as well. I think that this year, when they weren't going to devote resources to it, you might as well get some intriguing guys. And I think with Drew Shelton and his athleticism specifically, maybe working with Clayton Adams and what they could do, I think that that's something to keep an eye on down the road when that need becomes a little bit more pressing.
Yeah, I really do believe this is a big deal for the Cowboys. Rico Jones said Jaden Blue better bring his lunch. This year it's going to be a battle royale with cheese. And I know Angie has also talked about the Cowboys need maybe another running back, a B, and we've talked about it too. And so, I mean, they brought in a running back, the UDFA guy. His name slips my mind right now, but I really think they're saying maybe Phil Maffa. And we'll see what happens with Jaden Blue, man. They really been talking about Jaden Blue's issues. Terry Tatum said, book it, no doubt, man. Yeah, no doubt. We're gonna make sure we get that one. Yeah, I know, Frank Lawrence. I'm going to make sure. When I get ready to get this going, I'm going to come back and get these things again. Oh, Daisy, she said, G, first T-shirt is y'all gonna call me a prophet or watch what I'm telling you. Yeah, I need that one. Chris Legal. Oh yeah, I'm struggling. Yes, sir. I'm struggling, man. Yeah, we need that one too. Definitely. I'm struggling. Yes, sir.
How is the George Pickens story evolving, as it was reported over the weekend that his agency was attempting to find a trade partner and somebody willing to give him a bigger contract?
Tatiana, they brought in Zach Switzer. You know that's a doggone shame. You know doggone well, Tatiana, the Zach Switzer is nothing but a Barry Switzer favor. Come on, baby. Fam said baby mama t-shirt. Yeah, Bass, yeah, in them streets, bro. In them streets. Yes, sir. Them streets. Hey, yeah, you know that's coming, Lisa. Let's talk facts. Let's go.
Yeah, I think that was just natural, especially when the non-exclusive tag was applied to him. I mean, this is, when it comes to Pickens, I think it's pretty clear, right? Like, there's a floor now with what he's
crazy,
going to get, by signing the franchise tag. But there was admiration by his side to get a lot more than that. The gap between what he wanted and what he's going to get on this tender is vast. So I
no doubt about it. His grandpa made the call.
I've been hearing questions about just what his future is going to be here. I've been kind of saying it, from the beginning. I think the logical route is he plays this tender out, and then that might be the last year with George Pickens based on the cost that could go up if he does really, really well next year. So I think we're going to kind of see what happens. The next turning point date is going to be June 16th when mandatory camp starts, and we'll see what happens.
Gut feel, Joe. Caleb Downs will be repping the number 2.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
On a gut feel basis, they've been too coy about it. I think Kobe Durant, I think there might be some negotiations probably going back there. I mean, obviously Brian Schottenheimer said as much. I'll tell you what, he looks good in 2. It's a good number for him. We know what it looks like. It hasn't stopped jersey sales though, knowing that he's potentially 18 or number 1 or number 2. Like that has not changed the thing. Obviously, he's the number 1 jersey seller among rookies right now. And if that 2 were to be the case, I think that those numbers would only skyrocket.
Well, you're the man, Joe. We'd love to see you over here at Mexican Bar Company. But if not, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, I might have to bring the corgi over and get it.
Please do.
That would be.
I'm willing to bet, and I'm not a betting man. He gonna be wearing that too. He will be wearing that too. Kobe Durant, bro. You don't even want you don't even want that pressure, bro. Kobe Durant don't want the pressure. He don't want that pressure. He does not want the pressure of not giving up that number 2. If I was Jerry Jones, I'd pay him for the number 2. Jerry Jones would make that money back tenfold if he gets Caleb Downs that number 2 jersey. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. Gotta get that number 2. Kobe Durant, bro, you don't want that. All right, so what we're gonna do, I think we're gonna skip over Nick Eatman. We're gonna skip over Nick Eatman. Oh, let's see. Let's check him out for a moment. Let's see if he says a couple. I think he's gonna talk a little bit more about the rookie thing. I'm just not impressed. It's not that I'm not impressed with the draft. I mean, it's the whole rookie thing. The rookie camp.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Good morning.
I mean, the rookie camp thing, I'm just kind of like, I'm a little bit more interested in seeing training camp. Let me see. Cocking my new, you rocking your new Dallas Cowboy ball cap like Michael Trigg. I see you. Yeah, Newhouse fan, we can't have no busting the budget shirts. We hadn't busted the budget yet. We hadn't busted the budget yet. We can't wear them shirts. Yeah, Angel Eyes, he got to give up that 2. He got to give up that 2. Man, he don't want that pressure. He does not want that pressure. He got to give us that 2.
Morning. How are you guys doing?
Would you rather be on vacation in Utah with Choppy or Mexico with Peyton?
Oh man, I would. I'd rather be with you guys.
There's the answer.
Yeah, especially since we've changed the name now to Sean and Bobby. I like that. Does Choppy even know that?
He does not. He still thinks it's the RJ and Choppy show or Bobby and Friends.
Yeah, as the studio outside says it's Bobby and Friends on the sign-in. DJ Pridemore put that up like that.
Yeah, right. I'm sure you did it, Bobby.
I'm egoless, all right?
Nick, did you get a chance to watch the televised event yesterday? And also, what jumped out the most from the rookies gathering in Frisco?
I'll do the second one first, nothing. And then the first question, no, I'm just kidding.
Don't worry, Frank Lawrence. He on the team. They paid him too much.
There's not a lot, that's going to come from that. As far as the guys on the field, I think it's more about just, some things that you pick up, with
Williams
talking to them in the locker room and beforehand. We got a chance to kind of see them a little bit on Thursday. I'll say it's a serious-minded group. Now,
CB Williams T-shirt.
This is their first time in the building for most of them.
CB Williams, what does that
Downs,
mean?
This is his third time at the Star, and I mean, he's just ready for business, and that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. But I mean, when you just look at some of these guys, Barham, Overton, I mean, you have to ask them to smile a little bit, but they're they're here to work. And so I hope that mindset carries over into film study and practice and meetings and all that stuff. But right now, first impression is that these guys are serious about their job in football, and I can't think that's a bad thing.
Nick, are you more interested? Obviously, you just said there's not a lot you can see out there, but are you more interested in seeing those players out there and what they're doing, or is it more interesting to just watch Christian Parker and see, all right, how is he approaching things? How is his command as he's, first-time defensive coordinator? That's his first time on a practice field as a DC. Yeah,
and you wouldn't know it. You really wouldn't. And, he's I guess that serious mindset, it kind of starts with him, and not starts with him, but he has it.
Yeah, I think we've heard some of this stuff over and over and over. And I really think we're putting a lot of hype. And I just want us to, and I don't think we're doing it because I think a lot of us are on the same page. I think we really I want to see a lot of this on the field. I really want to see a lot of this on the field before we really just start going crazy over Christian Parker, which I understand why we're crazy over Christian Parker. He was a great pickup, I believe, as a coach. And I believe he's going to be a head coach in this league if he can get some success with the Cowboys. But, man, I definitely got to see this on the field. I really got to see this on the field. I got to see what Christian Parker's defense looks like. We do not know what this man's defense is going to look like. And not only do we not know what it's going to look like exactly, the question is, what does it look like against competition? What is it going to look like? And that's why I'm still saying, man, I'm just telling you what my litmus test is. My litmus test is going to be those Rams scrimmages at Oxnard, and then as we start getting to the preseason. But as far as the teaching part, I'm not really concerned. I think Christian Parker, he seems to be a very good teacher. A lot of the players, they've seemed to have bought into him already. Brian Schottenheimer seems to have bought into him. And so at the end of the day, I'm all good with everything they're doing, but I'm just going to kind of just temper I don't know if I'm tempering my expectations as much as I'm saying I want to see it on the field. I really want to see some of this on the field. That's really what I want to see. All right, let's kind of move on. Here we go. I want to show you guys what they were saying about Malachi Lawrence, because I thought it was pretty interesting that I don't know if y'all remember, and I want to take you back into something.
Well, here we are
I want to take you back to something that we looked at a few weeks ago. We had looked at this thing with John Gruden, and John Gruden was talking about this year's best edge rushers. And I don't know if y'all remember, but one of the players that he talked about, and this player has not signed yet, one of the players he was talking about was the guy that we have was Malachi Lawrence. Check this out.
Well, let's go down to this 10th guy because Malachi Lawrence is right down the street here in Orlando, Florida. Mm-hmm. Look at this guy.
Wow, do y'all remember this? When he talked about these edge rushers, one of the guys he talked about was Malachi Lawrence.
Central Florida, 6'4", 253. You run 4.51 and put together the kind of workouts this man has been putting together. I don't see him not going in the first round, Bobby.
Yeah, get familiar with this name, okay?
Malachi Lawrence.
Malachi Lawrence. He was off of people's radar, okay? And now he is plus 100 to go in the first round. That is phenomenal growth for this guy. I was blown away. I was like, who is this guy? You watch some guys and you're like expecting this big performance and they kind of let you down. He's the opposite. Who's this guy? From UCF?
Take me back to what you were saying, that plus 100 stuff, because you do some work on DraftKings. You know I love DraftKings. Let's talk about Zion Young and Malachi Lawrence for a second.
All right, let's talk.
What are the chances of those two guys, DraftKings, going in the first round?
Okay, so I actually have Zion Young slightly ahead of Malachi Lawrence in my rankings, but over at DraftKings, You can get Zion Young going in the first round for plus 160. That means you put $100 down, you're getting $260 back. $100 down for Malachi Lawrence going in the first round, you're getting $200 back. So I love that bet. That's a phenomenal bet. That's
You
why
telling me?
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, this guy, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Malachi go before? I'd really have to look that up. I forgot the guy who he was talking about, this Zion guy. I'm thinking, though, Malachi might have went before
Malachi
him.
and Zion, you put $100 down and you get all that money back. I'm doing that.
Yes, sir. And let's go to something we were talking about earlier. Everyone in the world has come to this conclusion that Arvell Reese is going number 2 overall. Now, I love the
T-shirt names.
As a young guy.
The Jets
I'm just gonna
have
have
the
to
number 2 pick.
I'm going to have to bring this up again when I get ready to get closer to it.
They just traded away the Florida State guy, your friend.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah.
They traded him
Boy,
away
he's at the
to get
Maryland.
Sweat from the Titans.
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson's
I
gone
know
now.
they need an edge rusher. They're not going to take a guy that's not an every down rusher at number 2.
What about David Bailey?
They're going to take David Bailey.
What about David Bailey? You can get him
gotta take David
at
Bailey,
plus
Jake.
350.
But again, I want us to hear what they were saying about Malachi Lawrence, man. Malachi Lawrence wind up going to the Cowboys. Hey, Frank Lawrence, I'm telling you right now, I think people I think even some of the Cowboys fans have underestimated Malachi Lawrence. Man, this guy Malachi Lawrence. There were some teams that really wanted Malachi Lawrence. And they were kind of predicting him to go in the first round. And then there was another I found today that I thought was pretty interesting. These guys over on a show called Check the Mic, they were also talking about the best edge rushers. And I'll be honest with you, some of y'all watch college football. I'm going to probably watch it more this coming season. But a lot of us were kind of like Malachi, Malachi Lawrence when the Cowboys picked him up. But then when you look at what some people were saying about Malachi Lawrence, this guy would have won at the top of the second. But again, we already know the San Francisco 49ers wanted him and the Dallas Cowboys got him.
I think you're probably going to end up being able to make an argument that it was a good pick because he knows how to rush the passer at a really high level, and he did it against really quality guys in college. And the only way he traits that I'm talking about is to becoming even more important than just having a true quote unquote pass rush bag or something like that. I still think that matters. That's still a factor for me. It's just not as big of a factor as it once was. And I think there's still a lot of evaluators out there thinking like, oh, how many different ways do they win as a rusher? It's important. I just look at other stuff maybe a little bit more first. And we'll talk about that with some of the guys we talk about. In the run defense area, yes, it absolutely matters. I would just say the floor for what you can get away with is higher in that area. So guys that you're like, if they just get pulverized to the point of attack, but they're a great pass rusher, they're still going to play and they're still going to be an important player in the league. So somebody like Cassius Howell, who we'll talk about today, like it's like, oh, well, yeah, you don't want to take him in the top 10, but no matter where you take him, I think you're probably going to end up being able to make an argument that it was a good pick because he knows how to rush the passer at a really high level, and he did it against really quality.
Okay, Savelle, you said you predicted Malachi Lawrence to come to the Cowboys. Okay.
Quality guys in college, and the only way he won't be that in the league, and you won't feel that way about him in the league, is if he can't rush the passer. Even if he stays the same as a run defender, you'll probably still feel pretty happy with him.
Yeah, he'll be signing real soon, Chanel. Defensive end drafted with the 23rd overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft is expected to sign a 4-year contract with a total value of approximately $19.4 million and $20.2 million. Yeah, I think he'll be signed real soon. And I'm telling you, I think a lot of Cowboy fans are underestimating this guy, man. The way people talked about him even before the draft, now I'm discovering, man, a lot of people had a lot of anticipation about this guy.
His role will still be an important one, probably as important as any non-starter or non-full-time role player in the league. But yes, to do the kind of things Nate's been emphasizing on Twitter that edge rushers need to do, you also have to be able to stop the run. So there's a lot that goes into that, I think, but we can get into that with the individual players. But I do think it matters. I just think the ability to do that for players is usually easier than some of the pass rush stuff that we're talking about.
All right, man, we're going to go through your top 10 and then talk about players that maybe just missed or other interesting edge rushers in your ranking. So let's start out with your number one edge rusher. Who is it? Arvell Reese? Is it Reuben Bain? David Bailey? Who is the number?
Now, check this out. They were talking about his list of top 10 edge rushers. And y'all just heard him mention David Bailey. You just heard him mention Orville Reese. Check out who his number one edge rusher was in the draft.
Number one edge rusher in your rankings.
So I have no edge rushers in my elite tier. That's probably the first thing to note. So anybody looking for like an Abdul Carter, Will Anderson, guys where I would have ranked those guys in kind of the elite tier, just in terms of talent, tape, athleticism, testing, all that kind of stuff. So I have nobody in that tier, but at the top of tier 2 for me, which is basically like high quality starter type, a very good starter type. I think Pro Bowl pros are in consideration for this type of player, even if it's not like an annual top 3 to 5 player at their position. I think that the top guy for me is Central Florida edge rusher Malachi Lawrence, actually. And I really liked this player the more and more I got into it. You know, he's played a little bit less ball than everybody else, and also the physical maturation for him has happened more recently.
Okay, so yeah, Lawrence went before him. Yeah, Malachi Lawrence went before him, Frank Lawrence. I see you. Yeah, Malachi Lawrence went before him. Yeah. Sub-Zero Prime said, got to be the first to say this. When Trig makes an impact play on the field, someone needs to queue up, squeeze the trigger. What do you think? Hey, I know they're not going to be saying that in the NFL. They definitely not going to be saying that in the NFL. They got mad about people shooting arrows.
So that's an interesting part when you're wondering, like, where was he before the season? Why did he kind of just burst onto the radar now? 20 sacks in his career. So production-wise was something that gave me like a little bit of a pause. But then the way that he put it together this season, I thought was really, really impressive. I think it's just and I have other players in this tier we'll talk about in a second, but it's an imperfect edge class. There aren't any clear cut to me, top tier, all-around talents. I just feel like he's the player I'd want to bet on the most to achieve the highest end outcome in the NFL, because I think he has the most big issues when you look at him on tape. I think he's explosive off the ball. Has speed up the arc. It may not be, Von Miller-esque or anything like that, but I think it compares well to almost everybody in the class. He changes speeds on the move. I think that's a really important part of his rush plan, is that the path to the quarterback has a ton of variance, right? He will change his speed and his angle to the pocket based on what the blocker in front of him is doing. And then the dominant hand usage is really interesting to me, because he's more than adequate in the areas I've talked about, but no one is going to watch him and think of an Abdul Carter type of player. So the fact that he can create paths for himself with his hands while still being at a solid, good level athletically, I think is really, really important to me. Like, that will determine, I think, a lot of how he beats guys 1v1. And then there's the run defense stuff. He's just a really good run defender who improved as the year went on. I think he's got all the tools to continue to get better, but his awareness really improved this season in terms of the run game, his ability to stack and get off blocks. So I just thought this was the overall really, really good player. You worry about
I don't know. I guess he's trying to get the most money. Chanel, I don't know how that goes.
The fact that there aren't like a ton of elite tackles that he faced on the tape, but then you watch the tackle class and you realize that just might have been true for everybody in this class. So there's things to be concerned with. There's ways it might not work out. I just thought from a process standpoint, he's kind of got the best chance to achieve a high-end outcome. So I think he's the player I'd want the most.
So I like that you started out with the tier thing, right? And again, we were talking off air about the vertical lists and the need to rank everybody 1 to 10 or 1 to 15, but they're it's not the way I would necessarily do it. I mean, at some point you still have to make a decision on a player, right? If you're picking at 5, you're picking at 10, and you've got a choice of 3. At some point you have to make a pick. But vertical lists are big boards and not always the best way to rank these players. I think the tiers make a ton of sense. But I'm not going to lie, I did a little double take when I saw your rankings, that Lawrence was 1. Not that he was in the top tier or your second tier, but that he was number 1, that he over some of those other guys. Only 1,300 plus snaps, never played more than 470. Do you think that works in his favor? The somewhat inexperienced, remember, I cited the stat for Jalen Walker last year, 900 total snaps in college, and half of them were at linebacker. So do you see the inexperience as quote-unquote upside, or is that something like, hey, man, I haven't seen him do it as much, therefore it gives me pause? I'm guessing you don't have that pause if you're putting him number 1, over some of those other guys.
I think you can make an argument either way, and in some ways, like, there is upside to fresh legs. You can talk about all those sort of things. You can also say, like, well, this jump in competition, just given the fact that he hasn't had to play as much as
Newhouse fam, you playing, but he does look like one of them dudes from the Lost Boys. He does. If anybody remember that old Lost Boys vampire movie, he actually, that hairdo, because their hairline was similar to this, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
D1 league is going to be a real challenge for him, jumping roll or snap count. And I think that will probably gradually increase for him.
Boys?
I'm not necessarily saying with this ranking that he'll be the best of all these guys as a rookie. That can come in time too. But I just thought the way he moves for the position, the functional athletic ability, the way he wins, I think those guys, it's similar sort of to,
they had these same
I'm not saying
hairdos.
his career outcome will be the same as this player, but the way he moves.
I wish I had my iPad up here.
Of Donnell Hunter, and even his college role reminded me a little bit of Donnell Hunter too, with these super long arms, these guys that in times in college in their role, because Lawrence had to play like 4-eye and tight 5 sometimes from a 4-point stance. Like it wasn't necessarily all just get off and go opportunities for him. When he was at his best, though, it was get off and go opportunities. And that sort of reminded me of Hunter a little bit. And then just the way they move their body at the top of the arc is a little bit unorthodox. Big, long guys. I mean, nearly 34-inch arms for Lawrence and a nearly 82-inch wingspan. And then knowing how to use it too, being able to use that athleticism and being able to use that length combined with his athleticism to get guys off balance and create paths for himself as a rusher. I mean, there's games where he just totally brutalizes the opponent across from him. And you really, if you're going to make an argument against him at the end of those games, the only thing you're going to is, well, those players are just horrendous. That would be the argument against them.
No, that would be Robowski's argument. Robowski always say, look at the school they play against.
I just look across the landscape of tackles right now. You look at this 2026 class, and I'm going through the tackles in it right now, and I'm like, I don't know how many quality starters there are. So I think you might make that argument for him. I would just say I don't think the difference between that and the other tackles right now in college football were that great in 2026 or 2025. So I think the more I watched him, the more I was just like, yeah, this is a guy I just feel like I want to bet on. Like there's bully potential, but there's the athleticism to win as well. I think the role for him will fit more in the league in terms of what he needs to be, what he can do best will be better for him in the NFL. So just thought there was a lot here to get excited about with this player. And I think his best football, he really took the huge jump. So I think his best football is yet to come here too. And then I think a lot of players that the league maybe hasn't valued that much. If you look at just the draft history in the recent, past 5, 6, 7 years, we're seeing a ton of players who are amongst the top 15 or 20 edge rushers in the league, I would say, that are drafted outside of the first round, are not thought of as consensus first rounders. He actually kind of is maybe going to be in the first round now at this point, based on the reporting. But there is just so many players that the league is undervaluing at this position and not finding out until too late that they're as good as they are. And I think when you look at a lot of those players, a lot of the traits that they have are similar with Lawrence, who also tested like a maniac in the test that he did at the combine.
Yeah, Malachi Lawrence. So he's only number 41 on the consensus board, which sometimes is a little bit slower to catch up to NFL perception or even betting trends. Lawrence is now favored to go in round 1, so just as a starting point. And as you mentioned, from a testing perspective, at 253 pounds, ran a 4.52. 40, 1.59 10-yard split, which is outstanding, and vertical of 40 inches, 97th percentile broad jump. So the athleticism, to be clear, like you see it on film. You see the athleticism, you see the burst, you see all the things that you said at the top of the show that you're looking for in edge rush prospects. You were almost describing what Lawrence can do. So I understand why he's number 1 for you, but in the same tier as others.
Yeah. Man, Malachi Lawrence, we may be underestimating this guy, man. Yeah, so Senator Zavell, I like when Vach said that too. I think the Cowboys did their homework on this guy. And I think other teams started kind of thinking that this guy was pretty good too. Because that's why the 49ers were a little bit perturbed when the Cowboys went back to 23 and got him and got 2 fourth-round picks from the Philadelphia Eagles. And so, man, I really think this was I think he's going to prove to be a great pickup for the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to be a great pickup for the Dallas Cowboys. There's another player the Cowboys picked up. Don't really know the whole story behind this. I was reading it today. Maybe some of you college football watchers know about him. His name is DJ Winfield. Y'all familiar with the DJ Winfield story? I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about him college-wise. I hadn't a chance to go look up enough on him. DJ Winfield, 6'4", 316-pound offensive lineman. Says here the Dallas Cowboys. The guy said the Dallas Cowboys just signed my client DJ Wingfield to a free agent deal after this weekend's rookie minicamp. Sports agent Brett Tesler wrote on his official X account on Monday. Very talented guy, got a large NIL deal. Now, when he said a large NIL deal, I guess I'm just thinking about when they say like millions of dollars. I guess I had to look it up. But it says he got a large NIL deal. No, it says it in the article. I didn't understand when he said large. I guess I don't know what linemen get, but he said it was a large NIL deal, and it says he reportedly landed $210,000 NIL deal from USC for 2025. I don't know. Is that large for an offensive lineman? I thought these guys were getting millions as far as those NIL deals, but I guess everybody can't. Says he was denied a final season of eligibility after stints at a junior college, New Mexico, and Purdue before landing at USC. He was trying to play a 7th season of college football? Oh my gosh. This dude was trying to play a 7th year? I mean, I guess I don't blame him. Because if you're going to make $210,000 playing college ball, well, I guess you could pretty much dominate against some of these players. Man. And now he's undrafted in the NFL. Yeah, it says USC was offering him $210,000 NIL money. This is the guy right here. I'm not really familiar with him. He was going for a 7th year? Wow. I wonder what the Cowboys, I wonder if he's going to sign a deal with the Cowboys. I don't know if he has or not. Well, I guess they have signed him. I wonder what they signed him for. But it looks like I guess from what they're saying, he's supposed to be pretty good. All right, let me read here. Inglewood Trojan said, yeah, he was supposed to start for USC, but was ineligible. Came to Purdue. I wonder, is he any good? You know what, Bernard? I agree with you. I really think the NFL should expand the rosters. Now, I know they're cheap. It's a money issue. There's nothing stopping them other than money, Bernard. I think they should add about 10 players to each roster. I really do. I think they should add about 10 players to each roster. Easy. Add about 10 players. Some of these positions, man, you just never know what could happen in a doggone game. You just never know what could happen during a doggone game. And so I don't really know enough about him, but all I know is at this point, the Cowboys have signed him. I haven't heard a lot of talk about him, so we'll see what happens over the coming weeks. But definitely ready to get a lot of these people, definitely ready to get these guys on the field a lot more. Definitely ready to get these guys on the field a lot more and see what's going on. All right, let's go. I didn't watch the program. I guess they had a program where they've been showing some of these teams in the war room. I don't know if y'all seen some of the clips. I got a couple of the clips, I guess, from the Cowboys and when they made certain trades. But one thing I am proud of the Cowboys of, just to let us know, man, the Cowboys were trying hard, it seems, in this draft. I mean, they were trying hard, man. This is the Cowboys here. Let me see what the music is. I don't want to get copyright struck on. Let's see what it is. The Cowboys, this is them in the war room. See, I was thinking the same doggone thing. Are you talking about the kid that's sitting behind Jerry Jones? I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that kid looks old to be that young. Like you. Wow. So his name is Jerry back there? What up, Mr. C?
Yes, this is Stephen Jones. We're trading this pick to Philadelphia.
Okay.
We're trading pick 20 for their pick 23. And and we get their 114 and 137 in the fourth.
Okay.
And
One
we
second,
give
just-
back our
oh.
seventh next year.
7th next year. Okay.
It is.
With the 17th pick.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The man was on the phone with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys got it done. And the Cowboys gave up 2/5 and got back 2/4. And I want to bring this back full circle to George Pickens for a moment. The Cowboys have made their mind up. They really want George Pickens to play this year. They really want him to play this year for the Cowboys. And so if the Cowboys wanted a wide receiver, they could have got him right here. Could have got Malachi Lemon. Easily could have got Malachi Lemon. I think there was a receiver there, maybe even a 12. But they could have got Malachi Lemon. There would have been no problem with the Cowboys getting Malachi Lemon. And I think this dude can really, really play. He can ball. Cowboys want George Pickens. Traded that pick, let the Philadelphia Eagles instead, helped out the Philadelphia Eagles get Malachi Lemon, because we already know, even though they're getting Malachi Lemon, I think we about to get A.J. Brown out of the NFC. Yes. I would love to see A.J. Brown out of here, man. A.J. Brown can play too. Looks like A.J. Brown post June 1st going to be going to the Patriots.
Hey, why Philly calling?
God.
Oh, Philly just traded for you.
Hello?
This is Philly. They just traded for you.
This is Howie Roseman. I'm the GM of the Eagles. How you doing? We just traded up. We're picking you. You're an Eagle. Congrats.
Yeah!
Let's do it.
It's good work, man.
Congratulations.
Boy, that is crazy right there, man. Wow. That is crazy right there. That is crazy. Boy, Pittsburgh. Oh, man, Pittsburgh was furious, man. Pittsburgh was furious at the Cowboys. But, I mean, I'm telling you, Cowboys were wheeling and dealing at this draft. They were wheeling and dealing. Angie said Lemon cute. Angie, I'm telling you right now, Malachi Lemon is like one of them light-skinned thugs, man. Malachi Lemon, hey, he a dog. Malachi Lemon is a dog, man. Man, he one of them dudes, you start making them light-skinned jokes, man, he might slap the spit out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? I said spit. You catch what I said? Shoot, Malachi Lemon, man, he be done slap the spit out of your mouth, man. This dude here, boy, he like he a thug with heels. He a baller. He a baller. Frank Lawrence said, I'm looking for Caleb Downs, Malachi Lawrence, and Jay Sean Trigg, Devin of Cowboys 26 draft be historic. It looks really good, Frank Lawrence. This is one of the best ones we've had in years. Baz said, the Eagles themselves criticized Smitty being undersized. Malachi Lemon is short too, 5'11", not worried about none of that. Well, I tell you what, Baz. I'm glad they got him. I'm just glad A.J. Brown about to be up out of here. Man, A.J. Brown about to be up out of here, Baz. Angie, he the only cutie pie of the Eagles. Baz said Lamb and GP3, 6'2", 6'3", yeah. What's going on, Marcos Mancherio? He said, I feel shot. It was very one-dimensional in terms of running game style. How do you feel about our running back room? I think there's going to be an opportunity to get some more. I think there'll be some opportunity to get some more. That's kind of where I am on the Cowboys running backs. I've been wanting the Cowboys to let Jaden Blue do his thing, but I don't know what's going on with Jaden Blue. I do think Phil Maffa is going to be a part of this, but Phil Maffa kind of runs a little bit more like Javonte. I really would like the Cowboys to have somebody who could change it up. Pro Car Care, you hit it right on the head, bro. Yeah, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah. Tatiana, I saw that interview. That was crazy. Lemon got mad at Michael because Michael told him Philly not a good organization. Man, Michael shouldn't have done that, though. I saw that. I was like, come on, Michael, man. Come on, Michael, man. Come on. This is man's. Man, this. Come on, man. Don't do stuff like that. All right, let's check out this next one here. This was the Cowboys. I might got the same clip. Let me see what this one is. This is the Cowboys making sure they got Caleb Downs.
They might like
check this out.
More than Downs.
They might, but if they don't like Downs,
The question is, what would you give to go one spot? It's 50 on the chart, which is a fifth.
Well, I would if I thought Miami was going to take Downs
So
and
you'd
we
have to-
want Downs. Now I'd get serious about some points, but
You could give 2/5. And
if I'm Miami, why doesn't Miami sitting there with us? We've had as much written about us and Downs as anybody there is in this draft. We knew it was a long shot if we stayed at 12. He certainly was one of 4 players that we had that we were ready to put some ammo to go up to get.
Hey, Kyle, this is Stephen Jones.
Hey, Stephen, how are you, man?
Right here in Dallas, one behind you. Wondering, are y'all going to pick away, or would you be interested?
What are you guys looking?
We'd probably throw in our fifth plus something. Go one spot.
5 plus. No, we're gonna stay.
Okay.
We're gonna pick. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
No good.
Miami is using all of its time here.
I really didn't think that Miami in this particular case was going to draft him. But I didn't doubt a minute that somebody else would come over and trade Miami out of that spot and get him right out from under us. It wasn't a hard decision to.
Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of this, but I'll be honest with you. I really don't think they had to trade up, but I'm not mad that they traded up because I believe that if you want a player of this ilk, I mean, like I said, man, sometimes you got to give up some things to get what you want and get what you need. And so sometimes you got to pay a little extra. That's what we used to say. That's what my grandma used to say, a little extra, not extra. Sometimes you got to pay a little extra. Cowboys paid 2 fifth-round picks, and I don't blame them. I'm glad they did it. Because what in the heck would we have done with that extra 5th-round pick? I'd rather have, especially when you turned around and got 2 4th-round picks. So I don't have no problem with paying extra.
Go ahead and up the ante and make sure we had him.
The league in general, had that feeling.
Wait a minute, Stephen Jones got on that same outfit he was wearing on the 3rd night of the draft. Hold on a second. He got on that same outfit.
That, the draft wasn't that deep in blue chip type, especially defensive players. So, we just decided to pull the trigger there and send the 2 5s.
Hold on, here, Steve. They'll move back one spot.
You'll move back one spot for a 5? Yeah. No, we do 177, 180 if it's 2 5s. Okay, we got it.
I mean, this was really a no-brainer pick simply because I just don't believe the Miami Dolphins were going to get, I don't think they were going to pick Caleb Downs in the first place. But again, if you're the Cowboys, if you want to get what you want, sometimes you got to pay extra. Rumbowski, I think you make a great point. You said, and that is why you keep your mouth shut if you're Pitt. Someone on Mike's staff ran their mouth to someone here in Dallas. Philly knew their target and moved up as a result. Amateur hour if you're Pitt. In Rumbowski, you think about what Jerry Jones just said. Jerry Jones just said something that is powerful. Jerry Jones said, there's nobody in the draft that's been linked to Caleb Downs more than us. Everybody knew the Cowboys wanted Caleb Downs. But again, they didn't quite have the capital that the Cowboys had. So Cowboys wound up and got him. Yeah, hey, Tatiana, you have you ever seen some of them light-skinned thugs? Shoot. Start messing around with some of them light-skinned dudes, man, they already got an attitude because people done made fun of them because they light-skinned. Shoot. Now, when I was growing up, a lot of people don't realize, man, I mean, we're in a different era now. I mean, Wesley Snipes brought them dark-skinned brothers in, boy. Y'all remember when Wesley Snipes did Passenger 57? Man, Wesley Snipes killed it for the light-skinned dudes. Because when I was growing up, man, light-skinned dudes was running it. Light-skinned dudes with Jerry curls? Shoot. Man, light-skinned dudes with Jerry curls would get all the women. Or at least most of them anyway. Man, them light-skinned dudes with Jerry curls were running the game. Man, Wesley Snipes came out with Passion to 57. It was a wrap. So a lot of these light-skinned dudes, man, they be having chips on their shoulder because, y'all, I know y'all done seen some of them light-skinned jokes they was doing, that they do from time to time. Man, some of these light-skinned dudes be having chips on their shoulder, man. Man, you start making them light-skinned jokes, man, shoot, boy, they'll do something to you for them light-skinned jokes. I ain't playing. Shoot. Boy, them light-skinned dudes will do something to you. Bernard Fields said, living might be lemonade going across the middle, G. We gonna see. Shoot, man. Angie said, Stephen Jones' hair cheap, just like his body, seeping through shame. Man, Angie, I'm sorry. Angie, Stephen got too much money. Stephen got too much money. Ain't no way. I'm shaving that off. I'm either shaving that off, I'm going over, I was watching the video this morning. I'm shaving that off, either I'm going over to Turkey, and I'm finna get me a whole hair transplant. Tatiana said, G, light-skinned dudes now are princesses. I'm gonna tell you now. Hey, Tatiana, it's some of them out there. You start making them jokes about them light-skinned dudes, shoot. You got a fight on your hands. You got a fight on your hands. Angie said, my dad was light-skinned with Jerry curls back then, too. Angie, I be making fun of my wife. Because her daddy was one of them too. Her daddy was light-skinned with a Jerry curl and drove, I think it was like a Trans Am or something like that. Shoot, boy, you couldn't tell my wife dad nothing, boy. You couldn't tell that joker nothing. Light-skinned dudes was it back in the day, but like I said, man, Wesley Snipes came in and messed it up for all them light-skinned dudes. But I tell you what, best man start talking some of them wrong light-skinned dudes, man, they'll knock you out making them light-skinned jokes. Mr. C said, hey, G, Ice-T is a light-skinned gangster. No doubt about it. Shoot. No doubt about it. Oh, we talked about that the other night, Christian Legal. You know I had a Jerry curl, bro. No, I had that Jerry curl, man. I had that shag with mine. Nisa said light-skinned dudes with a soul glow curl. No doubt about it. Hey, man, that was me, Chanel. I'm telling you. That was me. Rambowski said, does that mean it would be a bad idea for me to ask Lemon, hey, kid, where you... Well, all I'm going to tell you is, don't you make no light-skinned jokes when it comes to Lemon, man. Not in his vicinity. You gonna have a fight on your hand. I'm just telling you right now. He look like one of them. Bernard said, I got a curl, but no Jerry, repping for the dark-skinned delegation, G. You say he was light-skinned and Night Rider, G. Shoot. Man, light-skinned dudes was running it back in the day.
Fade in. Hold on, guys. Please be quiet.
Hello, it's Ken.
Hey, this is Steven.
Hey, Steven.
We're giving them our pick, number 12, and we're giving them 177, 180. Miami.
Okay, yep.
Who's this guy back here on the left? I just wonder who some of these guys are, man. Who are some of these people? Who is this guy behind Stephen Jones?
Are we good?
Yes.
Turn it in.
You have a deal.
Okay.
Well, it does. We're on the clock.
We're on the clock. They're turning it in. We got 10 seconds, 2 seconds.
Then it's us on the clock.
Then it's us
on the clock. Better hurry up and get it in.
Dallas has submitted its pick. Miami is on the clock.
Caleb Downs.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I want y'all to keep y'all eyes on this guy right here. The guy who I just told you about behind Stephen Jones. Who is this guy? Man, I think he back there drinking that dark liquor too, or either he drinking some wine, because whenever I see a drink with no ice in it, man, he back there drinking some dark liquor or something. And look at how everybody is reacting, except for this one guy behind Stephen Jones. Let's go back just for a minute. Who is this guy behind Stephen Jones?
Miami is on the clock.
Caleb Downs.
Who is this guy back here? Who is this?
Then it's us on the clock. Are we good?
Yes.
Watch him. You about to take that drink. No ice in that drink. What he drinking?
You have a deal.
Okay.
Who is this guy, man? Man, I just be wondering who people like this is. Who is this dude back here? Drinking that dog liquor, man. It just it just has that bill clip back there. Boy, I don't know who this dude is, but everybody get excited. Watch this dude back here, y'all.
We got 10 seconds, 2 seconds.
Man,
Then it's us.
look at him. He folds his arms up, too. Who is this dude?
Dallas has submitted its pick. Miami is on the clock.
Caleb Downs.
Look. Who is this dude back here?
Caleb.
Who is this dude? Woo, boy, who is this dude back here? He back there, he said, what they excited about? Who is this dude?
Can you hear me? Caleb, this Jerry Jones.
Boy, Brandon Cup said it's Bob Barker. Who is that dude, boy? Boy, I'd love to know who that dude is back there, boy. Deezy said that's the corn liquor man. I want to know who that is back there. Chanel said he's called no reaction dude. He drinking that shizzle, boy. You ain't, boy. Edge, I was thinking the same thing. He drinking that Crown Royal and Coke. Hey, when I see a drink with no ice, shoot, man, ain't nobody drinking no soda with no ice. There ain't even no fizz in that thing either. Shoot, man, he back there on that jungle juice. Wait a minute. Best, that's the laest chips on every guy. Boy, you better stop. Grizzly Gal said that's the team doctor. Is that Dr. Cooper? I didn't know that was Dr. Cooper, man. You sure that's Dr. Cooper? You just pulling my leg, Grizzly Gal. Come on, man. There's no way that is Dr. Cooper back there. Boy, whoever that is, boy, he is like, man, ain't no excitement in that man life, man. He's, shoot, everybody back there excited. He just like, yeah, whatever, man. Just give me another drink. He don't care. Marvin Bain said that's Jerry's drinking buddy back there. Shoot, he ain't, man. This dude back here different, boy. But Phil said that's Jerry Weedman back there. Man, who is that dude? Hey, you ain't lying, Mike said this. That ain't scotch, bruh. That ain't scotch he drinking back there. All right, we got one more clip. I really like this thing they showed from the draft because it really showed you, man, the Cowboys were trying to get after it, man. They were really trying to, they were wheeling and dealing. Now, the next one,
And the Browns.
the next one the Cowboys were not able to get. So the Cowboys, the rumor was actually true. Y'all remember when they were saying the Cowboys were trying to trade with the Cleveland Browns? Well, I'm pretty sure some of y'all have already seen this clip. It's actually true.
Saints. And then the Browns will select next.
Hey, maybe Dallas is asking if any interest in what.
Yeah, Will texted me too. I told him.
Drinking that Shannon Sharp looking at you.
They will come up to me.
They're 24. So 9 and 24.
Who did that? Ain't no toilet wine, bro. That boy drinking that expensive stuff, I bet too.
They want to do 9 and 24 for 12 and 20, which is light on all dimensions.
Oh, there it is.
New Orleans has submitted its pick. Cleveland is on the clock.
Now I'm gonna tell you about this dude, Andrew Berry. It's amazing to me how much better his draft was without Kevin Stefanski. I'm telling y'all, man, Kevin Stefanski could never coach for me. If I owned the team, Kevin Stefanski could never coach for me. I believe this draft last year was under the influence of Kevin Stefanski, and this is why they did some of this dumb stuff like getting Dylan Gabriel, waiting until the 5th round to get Shedeur Sanders. I believe this is why they did a whole bunch of this dumb stuff they did. Andrew Berry redeemed himself. Yeah, Tin Chong, that's that Le Portier. Yeah, he redeemed himself. Mr. Get Hurt. Boy, you know all the liquors. He said Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, 4 Roses, man. I ain't even heard of them 4 Roses. So if it's them 4 roses, shoot, I know that's some serious stuff right there, boy. That's some serious stuff right there. Niecy said, if that's the doctor, no wonder everybody hurt. Boy, I give her. Niecy said, if that's the doctor, boy, she know why everybody hurt now. Niecy said, if that's the doctor, she can see what's going on with this team, man. I agree. They need to get, man, he probably, I don't know if you remember, Niecy, you ever seen that Chris Rock special? You ever seen that Chris Rock special, Niecy? And Chris Rock be talking about when we were young, because I can remember it too. Chris Rock said when we were young, Robitussin was the fix for everything. You got a headache? Give him some Tussin. You skin your knee up? Give him some Tussin. You break your arm? Give him some Tussin. He one of them doctors. But them Robitussin doctors, if anything. I don't think that's the team doctor. I hope it's not. Because he seemed like he was checked out already.
Tyson. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. You get a tackle.
New Orleans Saints select Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State.
They're on the clock.
They're on the clock. I offered their 9-24 for 12 and 20.
And say, what else would you want?
Yeah.
New House fam, you killing me.
Yeah. Hey, this is Steven. Are y'all?
New House fam says Dr. Kevorkian back there, boy. Come on, man. Boy, some of these people don't know who they don't know Dr. Kevorkian, man. You gotta go do your research on him, boy. Everybody remember, boy. I remember Dr. Kevorkian, man. Bernard Field said, go to the training room, come out staggering. Shoot, boy. Come on, man. Hey, we were talking about that. I was telling some people about that last week at church, Phil, dog. In between church, we were talking about that Mad Dog 2020, boy. That stuff will mess you up. Mess you up. Mike said this is that the dude that checked out Crosby. Boy, you crazy. Said that's dude checked out Crosby, huh? That's dude checked out Crosby. Woo! Shoot. Neezy, you ain't lying. Chris ain't never lied. Keep me some Tussin. Shoot. Tussin for everything. I don't care what's wrong with you. Give him some Tussin.
I'm going to pick away here?
We wouldn't do the swap of the first round.
Okay, if we threw in a 5, would that change it?
No, that wouldn't really move for us.
Doesn't move the needle. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, though.
All right.
Yeah, they want to fleece the Cowboys. They wanted to fleece the Cowboys. Because when you think about what the Cowboys were offering them, do what? Man, that was a great trade the Cowboys were offering the Cleveland Browns. A 9 and a 24 for a 12 and a 20. Probably could have still got this guy at number 12.
That's a lot.
I keep hearing Cleveland wants an offensive lineman, and they're worried New York's gonna take it.
Yeah.
They don't want to get behind the Giants.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, hey, Ayers, this was your orange dot.
Yeah, I can see that too. That's a great point that Steven just made. That's a great point that he just made. The New York Giants got an offensive lineman, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken. So they didn't want to get behind them, and they wanted what they called basically the best offensive lineman in the game. But again, I believe that a lot of people considered the one that they didn't get as the best offensive lineman in the game.
We're getting the best tackle in this entire draft. This kid's rare combination of athletics.
Sure, Robowski. That's why I said he one of them Tussin doctors, man. I'm telling you, Robowski. That's why I said he one of them Tussin doctors. Man, them doctors be having them older doctors be having them old remedies, man. They be having them old remedies. Robowski said that's no joke from ECG. Yeah, I'm the one who brought up the Tussin, though. I'm telling you about them old doctors, man. There are a lot of old, stubborn doctors out there unwilling to adapt and learn new medical therapies out there. Shoot. Man, them old doctors, hey, I ain't even playing. Man, you best around them old doctors be asking you, does your grandma got some monkey blood? Y'all remember that monkey blood? Does your grandma got some monkey blood left in the cabinet somewhere? Put some monkey blood on it. Boy, shoot. Boy, I remember when I was a kid, they used to put that monkey blood on every cut. You want the monkey blood or the alcohol? Ooh, I'll take the monkey blood. Monkey blood was red like blood. And I used to wonder when I was a kid, before I kind of found out what it was, I used to wonder when I was a kid, I was like, where they get monkey blood from to put in the bottle? Boy, there was four main remedies when I was growing up. And doctors would prescribe these things to you. They would give these things to you. Oh, they would prescribe them. Rubbing alcohol, castor oil, Robitussin, or monkey blood. Them were the 4 remedies for a whole lot of things when I was growing up. Whole lot of things. That was the medicine cabinet. That was the medicine cabinet. And I guess if you were fancy, there was those red, what was they called? Lundgrens? The red Lundgrens cough drops that all the kids used to play like they got a cold so they could get them Lundgrens because they was nothing but candy in the grand scheme of things. And then them pink bear aspirins that kids used to love too. Those were the 6 remedies. And doctors would prescribe those things to you. Yeah, doctors would prescribe those things to you. Yeah, I'm agreeing. If that's team doctor, man, he probably tell you tear ACL. He tell you like they tell you back in the old day, oh, get up and walk it off, man. Just get up and walk it off. I had a coach when I was in middle school. We had a kid broke his leg. And the coach back then, they were so tough, the coach told him, oh, you just a sissy. Get up, walk it off. Man, I'll never forget that dude trying to get up and walk it off. Get off the field, you sissy. Coaches used to do this back in the day. Man, that dude came back to school the next day with a full leg cast. That's just how people was. Wait a minute, man. Y'all don't know about that monkey blood, bro. Y'all don't know. Boy, I'm showing my age now, boy. Boy, y'all do not know about that monkey blood? Shoot. Boy, Big Rum Bounce said casserole, that's a throwback. Boy, I'm telling you, they would literally prescribe this stuff if you went to a doctor. They would literally prescribe this stuff to you. I'm telling you. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can get you a picture of that monkey blood on the screen. Oh, boy. Shoot. When I was a kid, man, you get cut. Monkey blood, here it is. Let me see, this is it right here. Somebody got it up on Facebook. They said the same thing I said. Look, here it is. Y'all, some of y'all too young to remember this. Monkey blood. You got a scrape or a cut? Put monkey blood on it. Now, man, they probably talking about it was killing folks back in the day. Well, it didn't kill us back in the day. Many of us had monkey blood. Somebody said Happy Friday. Said, I remember being treated with this and it stung so bad. Now I use it as an antibiotic ointment and Band-Aid or bandage and go on. This stuff was banned due to the small amount of mercury in its contents. Do any of you know why it's called monkey blood? My guess is that it was not easy to pronounce. I really hope it's not the same strange reason. I don't need to think about it. Boy, I'm telling you, boy. Boy, that monkey blood was, man, I'm telling you, boy, you get that cut. Throw that monkey blood in the cut. A Ting Chong, he said the mercurochrome. Yes, sir. You don't see it now. Now, you can't find that monkey blood now. Yeah, Lisa said that was iodine. Hey, I'm telling you, that's what they used to give to us. And doctors would prescribe it. Shoot. Hey, man. Hey, what's that dude, Big Rumbowski from the Fantastic Four? Man, they were turning children into the Silver Surfer when I was growing up, bro. They were turning kids into the Silver Surfer when I was growing up. Putting mercury in your blood. Senator Chevelle, he said, I'm 65, never heard of it. Boy, hey, 72 Seville, boy, you got to realize where I'm from, boy. Man, I'm straight, boy. Straight country and hood from where I'm from, bro. Had all them old remedies, man. Yeah. Oh, Christian Legal, you were fancy. See, you had hydrogen peroxide. We didn't even know what that. I didn't even know what that was until I got way older. I didn't know what hydrogen peroxide was, bro. It was monkey blood, alcohol, and tussin. Frank Lois said, gee, man, how long before they have a fire sale in Arizona? Hey, you know what? He said, be nice 3 years down the road to pick up Jeremiah Love. Hey, I hate he got to go there, too. I do. 72 Seville, I ain't even heard of this. You said Paragoriki was old school. Okay, hold on a second. Angie sent me something. I'm going to check it out on next here in just a moment. Yeah, man, but that Cowboys War Room, man, those were some great clips. Really were. I mean, it goes to show you the Cowboys were really trying to they were really trying to get it, man. I give them a lot of credit. They were trying to get it. But the good thing is, I think they got who they needed. What's going on, Pro Car Care? Brandon Mackey said, yo, what's going on? What's going on, man? It's still that monkey blood still on Amazon? I'm going to leave it alone, man. I ain't messing with that stuff now. All right, let's have a couple of quick hits here as we get ready to get out of here. We'll probably save some of these Cowboys interviews for tomorrow. All right, let me see where we are here. Hey, Pooba D, let me tell you something. Tell me, am I going crazy, Pooba D? If you had a choice between white alcohol or green alcohol, which one were you choosing? Because when I was a kid, I may be going crazy, but when they had green alcohol, I was always glad because the green alcohol didn't burn as bad. You tell me what you think. Shoot. Boy, they had that white, that clear alcohol, that green. I'm like, give me the green. Give me the green. 4 pockets, easy. Yeah, I remember that can for Fanique. Yes, sir. All right, let's check this out. All right, let me see here. All right, yeah, we'll probably save the player interviews for tomorrow. I'm going to hit you with a couple of quick hits, then we're going to get out of here for the day. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me, boy. We had some fun today, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Best chat on YouTube. All right, so I pulled up something else. I saw something else floating across X today. And before I get out of here, I'm going to check and see if Angie got something. Angie said she sent me something, so see if I can put it on here for us today. So they're talking about the Cowboys' strength of schedule, or just the 5 easiest schedules versus the 5 hardest schedules. And this is crazy work to me. So the 5 easiest schedules: Lions, Saints, Bengals, Browns, Jets. Lions, Saints, Bengals, Browns, Jets. I do believe this is the last opportunity for the Lions to get their Super Bowl under Dan Campbell, because if they don't get it this year, I think it's over. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if they change Dan Campbell out. I'm wondering if Dan Campbell is starting to wear thin on this team. Tatiana, that's a great point. Best chat on YouTube shirt. I will definitely make that when we start doing our t-shirts. We're going to literally have to have a whole t-shirt stream when I get everything up and going, so y'all can give me all these ideas again. 5 easy schedules: Lions, Saints, Bengals, Browns, Jets. Now, I'm not worried about the Saints, the Browns, and the Jets, but the Bengals and the Lions could have a pretty good season in the NFC and the AFC. I'm gonna make sure I watch these two teams. Because when you get these easy schedules, man, and you put together a pretty good team, you can literally run through that schedule and you can get to the playoffs. And if you mess around and get the number 1 seed, you're literally only 2 games away from the Super Bowl. So I'm going to really be on the lookout for this. But then when you look at the 5 hardest schedules, look who's on here. The Dallas Cowboys, with only 7 wins, have one of the 5 hardest schedules in the league. Rams, Cowboys, Panthers, Dolphins, Cardinals. Somebody got to explain to me, how in the world do the Dolphins and the Cardinals, 2 of the worst teams in football, get two of the 5 hardest schedules in the league. But the Cowboys, whew. Now, we're going to see, because, we say this every year. But a lot of people said the Cowboys' schedule was hard last year, and then we got to that schedule. And had we had a better defense, I think we would have ran through that schedule. But the official schedule will be released in mid-May, and we're going to get to see week by week and really every single opponent that we have. But they're saying that the Cowboys got one of the 5 hardest schedules in the league. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Then we pull up this right here. And Warren Sharp is over here asking, how many wins for the Cowboys this year? Last year, I thought they said the Cowboys had a hard schedule. Well, they're saying last year the Cowboys played the number 3 easiest schedule. I don't believe it was. They can say it was. I don't believe it was. They say they won 7 total games in their 8 games versus team with a winning. In their 8 games with a team with a winning record, the Cowboys only won 1 game of 8 games with teams with a winning record. In their 7 games versus teams who made the playoffs, they were 1-7. They went 3-1 in games decided by 3 points or less. This year, they played 10 teams projected to have a winning record. They have the number 2 biggest increase in schedule difficulty and the number 4 overall toughest schedule in the NFL. Wow. Wow. Got our work cut out for us. But if you ever want to go to a Super Bowl and prove that you're worthy, this will be one of them years. This will be one of those years. So they will be releasing the schedule here pretty soon. And we're going to get to see what our official schedule is. That's coming in mid-May. So that's going to be another highlight of this coming. That's going to be another highlight of this season. Hold on, let me see what my sister sent me. Okay, Angie, I see the one from yesterday. Is this the one about Michael Irvin? Let me know if it's the one about Michael Irvin. I think I saw this the other day. I was laughing at it. Skeptical fan, what up, man? Should Caleb Downs wear the green dot on defense? Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. I mean, it sounds like to me they're leaning toward it. Frank Lawrence said 92 Cowboys not favored to win the NFC East. 52-17, baby. Yeah. Yeah, I see you, Pooper D. Put some respect on my name. Yes, sir. Ting Chong said they play the AFC South. Texas, Titans, Jags, Colts. Yeah, and I think we're playing another one of those AFC divisions, too, because we're playing the Baltimore Ravens. Skeptical fan, they are really talking a lot about Caleb Downs and his brain strength or whatever it is. Talking about how smart he is. And it sounds like to me, the way a lot of people are talking about this, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it would be very rare. I don't know, call me crazy. I think it would be very rare to do something like that. Very rare. I think you probably need the person in the middle of the defense to be doing that stuff a little bit more. And that probably should be the linebacker. The linebacker. So I think they need that Mike linebacker. But I do think one of the things I can appreciate about the Cowboys is that the Cowboys are basically saying that they're training everybody to be the Mike, and then let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. All right, Angie, whatever you sent me, it hadn't, I don't, because this is older what you sent me right here. So let me know if it hadn't went through. All right, let me give y'all a Diggs update before I roll out of here.
Here we go.
I told y'all already. I have an ongoing bet with my wife. And some of y'all don't believe that Trayvon Diggs is going to play in this league. I, for one, believe that Trayvon Diggs is going to play in this league. I believe it. I'm saying that he's going to play for the Green Bay Packers. That's who I think he's going to play for. Skeptical fans said, what team should the Cowboys play week 1? Week 1. I would love for it to be the Seattle Seahawks. I would love for it to be the Seattle Seahawks. Hold on a second. Tatiana, wait a minute. This is breaking news for me. Hold on a second. Tatiana, you telling me that Diggs is with the Washington Commanders? Do what? Are you sure? Or are you saying he's going to the Washington Commanders? Because I haven't heard anything about Trayvon Diggs going anywhere. I heard the Commanders may be interested. Okay, so you must be saying that the Commanders. I've heard the Commanders are predicted. Yeah, I saw this right here. Yeah, I saw this right here on the Sporting News. The Commanders are predicted to sign former $97 million Cowboys star defender. I saw this right here. Okay, that's what you're thinking. I see what you're saying now, Tatiana. Yeah, a lot of people are leaning towards the Washington Commanders because of his relationship with Dan Quinn. Wouldn't surprise me, Tatiana. And I'm going to tell you that, if you sign Marshawn Lattimore, why won't you sign Trayvon Diggs? Come on, man. Come on, man. You signed Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, that has got to be one of the craziest things I've seen, signing Marshawn Lattimore. But on that note, I don't know if y'all seen this. I don't know if y'all seen this right here. Trayvon Diggs is putting in work. Anybody seen this? Now, don't y'all be laughing at Trayvon Diggs. I believe Trayvon Diggs is out here trying to get it. Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, I'm thinking Packers because of Michael Parsons. Tatiana, you seen this right here? Trayvon Diggs out here getting it. Diggs out here getting it. 600. Hold on, I'm trying not to get these copyright strikes. Diggs is out here getting it. Check out Diggs. This is Trayvon Diggs. I'll tell you this much. I mean, I'm just looking at a small snippet here. Trayvon Diggs, I was saying last year, Diggs looked hurt the whole season. I kept saying it. Diggs was hurt. I said it even during training camp. Diggs was hurt, and a lot of people were pushing back. Oh, he's not hurt. No, Diggs was hurt. Am I telling you that means that Diggs was going to be an all-pro cornerback? Had he not been injured? I'm not telling you that. What I am telling you is, man, Diggs looks way better. He looks way better. Let me see. Let me read this message he got up here to everybody. He says, 600 rack. He said, you either with us or you against us, ain't it? Okay, that's too fast for me. I can't read that. Hey, this looks way better than what he did in training camp. He couldn't even do this in training camp. People were fooling themselves. He didn't look this good in training camp. See, that right there, he couldn't do that last year. That's what was getting him. I'm telling you. Hey, Poopy D, if you ain't never told the truth, you just told the truth. He better than Bridges. Boy, you better be lying. You ain't lying, boy. You better try Quez Bridges, bro. Shoot. Stop playing. Telling you last year this dude was hurt, man. I'm not telling y'all that he finna come and tear the league up. This dude looked way better than what he looked last year. He couldn't even do this. Nisi said, Nisi said, let's see him in pass, G. I'm just telling y'all about Bridges, man. I'm just telling y'all about Diggs. Hold on. Got one more. I'm just telling y'all, man.
Rats in a duffel, you either you would have said.
I'm just telling y'all. This man Diggs. Hold on. This is another clip of him. He out there working out in the field. I don't know exactly where he's working out at, but he getting it in. Clip number 2. I'm telling y'all now, this dude looks 10 times better. Wait a minute, 72 Chevelle. Boy, you better stop playing. 72 Chevelle said, he said, that's Michael Parsons' backyard. Stop it. Hey, I'm telling y'all, man, Diggs looks way better. He's actually moving like somebody who's not injured. Jeremy Betts said he was definitely hurt last season. He looks better, like he's been working. Not the problem, though. His minor maturity is the problem. He worked that hard before. He might have looked better, just saying. Yeah. And I'm sorry, excuse me, Nisi. The man ain't trying to hurt his knee again. Nisi said, let's see him with CD or any wide receiver, then we will talk. Nisi, the man ain't trying to hurt his knee this quick. He looks better without nobody in front of him, at least. Rumbout said, I think it takes a slice of humble pie. And is he willing to move away from the outside or even back to safety where he started at? Oh, I didn't know he was a safety. Started at safety during his Bama days. Then he can still contribute at this level. Wow, didn't realize he played safety in college. Wow. Didn't realize that. Field Dog said, nah, bro, he washed. Man, 72 Chevelle said, not against air. Demetrius said, gee, maybe he's going back to be a receiver. Oh, didn't think about, hey. He probably could. Chris Legal said, Quez Bridges is going to be an all-pro. Book it. Man, Quez Bridges ain't going to be all nothing. That brother, he'd be lucky to make, I don't even think he's going to make the team this year. Marvin May said he looks good, but let's see how he holds up in a game. I think this is one of the reasons why Diggs is going to get another opportunity. I think people are going to start seeing Diggs moving like this. And there will be a team out there that's going to be willing to give Diggs a chance. You watch what I tell you. There will be a team willing to give Diggs another opportunity. This is the league we live in. Rombowski said that both cornerbacks and safety did both cornerback and safety his first year at Bama. Then Saban moved him to cornerback full time. Didn't know that. I knew about him being a wide receiver. I didn't know about him being a safety. I bet you Diggs could play. The only problem with Diggs playing safety is he don't like to hit. I think if he tried to play safety, he probably need to put on about another 10 pounds. Because he don't like to hit. 72 Chevelle said, that's not him. He's dressed in all black disguise. Tatiana, his brother can still play. His brother can definitely still play. What's going on, Brandy? Calvin Richard, he said he can't play safety. He doesn't like. I just said it. Appreciate that super chat. That would be the only problem with him playing safety. He don't like to tackle. He don't like to tackle, and you gonna play safety, you got to be physical. He doesn't like to tackle. But I can tell you this: he looks a lot better than he did last year. Because I'm telling y'all, this dude was hurt last year. He tried to play injured, and I think that's one of the things that messed him up. He tried to play injured. But Frank Lawrence, going back to what you said earlier, you were saying that they didn't expect the Cowboys in 1992 to win the NFC East. The problem is, though, Frank Lawrence, people are expecting the Cowboys to win the NFC East. Let me see if I can find this one last clip before we go. Man, if y'all have not realized this, the expectations for the Cowboys are out the roof. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. That trio alone has already put a lot of expectations on the Cowboys offense. Caleb Downs being added to the Cowboys defense. Man, people are losing their minds talking about the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders. I'm not saying they're losing their minds as in saying that. But what I am saying is the expectations for the Cowboys are out the roof. They are out the roof. Let me just show you what they're saying. Let me see if I can find this. It is insane, the expectations they're putting on the Dallas Cowboys right now because of George Pickens and Caleb Downs. I mean, they're talking about the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders. I mean, I believe they're Super Bowl contenders, but I mean, the media is saying this they're saying this over and over and over that the Cowboys are going to be Super Bowl contenders. So, man, there are going to be a lot of teams when they play the Cowboys. I can tell you now, there are going to be a lot of teams fired up when they play the Cowboys. Going to be a lot of teams fired up, guys. See, can't find. I saw the clip this morning. Yeah, here it is right here. Matter of fact, let me see. Mike Tannenbaum. He's one of the main people out here saying this stuff.
Now face Buffalo. Colorado had 9 goals. That's right. If you will. And he's not afraid to talk about the Super Bowl right now and everything else. And the last piece of this had to fall into place, which is George Pickens signing that tender, which he did. And Mike T, you're going to tell us that the timing of it suggests he intends to play for the Cowboys this season.
Absolutely, Greeny. It was reported initially that he had signed before the draft, which would lead us to think, okay, maybe he's going to get, traded some point before round 1, do a deal and go to Team X. And then Dallas would take that draft capital and presumably sign a receiver. The fact that he signed it after the draft tells me he is 100% there for the year. It just wouldn't make sense for the way the Dallas Cowboys are built to trade George Pickens after the draft, knowing there's really not a lot of receiver options out there, which is great news for the Cowboys. It's better news, Green.
This is one of the reasons why I said it was dumb what they're reporting. That George Pickens and his team went out and started checking out the trade market. What market? Because Cowboys, in order to trade him, they would need a wide receiver. They're not doing that. They're not doing it. It would be dumb, like he said, for the Cowboys to trade him after the draft and there's no prospects out there.
From the standpoint now, he has to be at mandatory minicamp. He has to be at training camp, which gives him and the Cowboys the best chance to be successful for the season.
You were making the point this morning, Dan. We've not yet heard from him. At some point, we will. But that does seem, you sort of add 2 and 2 together. It seems like that's the way it's going.
Actions speak louder than words. He signs the tag. Like the Cowboys come out and say we're not going to negotiate a long-term deal with him. The Cowboys believe the franchise tag is the correct way to go with George Pickens this season. And you hear it in what Brian Schottenheimer is saying, talking about how much better he can still get. That's kind of their pitch. to Pickens, like, hey, do it again, and maybe even more, and then you'll really cash in, whether it's with us or somebody else, you know. But I think that's what they're saying. Like, it was one great year. Let's see it again, and then we'll talk.
I hope that that's the way he sees it if I'm a Cowboy fan, because the reality is that's the right way to approach this. I can't criticize the Cowboys for their approach on this at all, considering the history. So now you sit back and you look at it, D. Wood, and you've got the head coach, and you know him well. He was your OC with the Jets, talking Super Bowl talk in early May. How do you feel about it?
I love it, man. Like, listen, I've had it from both sides of the coin. I've had it where, you know, the process, you don't want to get ahead of it. And I've had coaches say, hell, let's talk about it now. Let's lay out all the expectations right now. Both sides have worked. Shotty's very confident. They got a really good roster. We all know that the things that they need to work on, stopping the run and all that. But listen, at the end of the day, Greeny, it's about big-time players doing big-time things. That's what it's all about with the Dallas Cowboys. We can go on and on about all these other stuff, but it's the Dak Prescotts, the C.D. Lambs, the George Pickens, the Quentin Williams, all of those guys. They got to come up money if the Dallas Cowboys want to be playing in Los Angeles.
Yeah, a couple years ago, they make the playoffs. They lose that home game to Green Bay right in the first round. A major letdown for a team that had high hopes. So with the Cowboys, if we're assuming the roster is good enough to get them back to the playoffs, then it's the same old question. Can Dak Prescott and this group elevate beyond where they've been, which is they haven't been to a conference championship game in 30 years?
If they're going to, it's the defense that's going to have to get a lot better. And if there's one person that is an addition to that defense that you think makes the biggest difference, who is that person?
Caleb Downs. You know,
They see George Pickens and Caleb Downs, as I told y'all in the beginning. They see them as the difference makers offensively and defensively that puts both of those sides of the ball over the top and is going to help the Cowboys be Super Bowl contenders. This is what everybody is saying. Tatiana, I can't lie. This is one of the things that has me excited too. I am very excited for the season. I am. Gibby, what's going on? What's going on? I mean, a lot of people are putting a lot on the Cowboys on this. Demetrius said, gee, this is all set up to make the team fired up to play the Cowboys. Yes, that's what I was saying, because we all know that every team brings their best when they play the Cowboys. No doubt about it. My dad told me that years ago, and it's always been the same. It's always been the same. Bet said, I said that too, bro. I think they'll be better than 15, but at least that's because of the talent. We'll see how CP can adjust to play calling and game planning. Yeah, that's what I got to see. I got to see what he does. I'm confident in him at the same time, but I still want to see what his defense is. Shotty said, I like, City's Fan Show said, I like Shotty talking about the Super Bowl. That should be every coach's talk. Yeah, he did it last year too. But I think this year he can do it a little bit more with his chest stuck out. All right, because again, they're telling you the two difference makers for the Cowboys. Caleb Downs, George Pickens, and of course the coaches. Demetrius Noel, you know I'm on that train. He got to be more innovative in his play calling. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Tinchong, he said we need to see how CP calls plays, plans, and adjusts. Yeah, I'm 100,000%. I gotta see what he does. And again, I gotta see him against that in Oxnard, California. Rambowski said the only thing that can send the excitement into the stratosphere, get the great Jalen Tolbert back into the star. Rambowski, let me tell you something. You playing. Man, Jalen Tolbert might make a name for himself in Miami. He might make a name for himself.
Talked a lot pre-draft about his versatility, how smart he is. But Dallas last year gave up 72 plays of 20 yards or more, which was the fourth most in the league. If he just cuts that in half, the amount of yardage and the amount of big plays he'll prevent, because he's an outstanding tackler, is going to be huge for this defense.
All right, so we'll see. There's some video of him for the first time in a Cowboy uniform, and now you see him playing with Ohio State. We'll see what they're capable of.
Nisi, I think this is probably going to be the case. I just want to see Shotty to communicate with the DC if he sees things going left. Nisi, he got his defensive coordinator. I think he had an issue. I think that was an issue between him and Matt Eberflus. I think Matt Eberflus may have been a little bit intimidating to Brian Schottenheimer. I think he was a little bit intimidating. Being an ex-head coach, brought his own staff. Jerry hired him, walking around like his boo-boo didn't stink. Defense, terrible. I'm sorry, terrible. Defense, terrible. And wasn't trying to do anything about it until Brian Schottenheimer. I'm telling you, Brian Schottenheimer, the smartest thing he did, he outworked Matt Eberflus. He outworked him. Got in that defensive room and outworked him and started making him for as much as he could to make some of those adjustments that he was refusing to make. And he did it for about 3 and 4 games, and then he reverted back to a pumpkin. Christian Parker is his man. If he sees some things going wrong, he won't have a problem talking to Christian Parker. Now, looking at the coaching staff, Shotty is older than his OC, older than his DC. I think he's going to be a lot more comfortable talking to him. I really do.
Doing. I want everyone to see one other thing, and I want you guys to be here to react to this because it was my favorite thing over the weekend that I saw by a long ways. And that was, by this point, you've all seen what happened in the Kentucky Derby this weekend. Golden Tempo coming from literally at the very, very back of the pack.
High expectations for the Cowboys. High expectations. But my anticipation is just very excited to see Christian Parker. I really want to see, can he do what these other guys have not been able to do? A lot of these guys come in and it takes them almost the entire season to get the defense, to get the system. Can Christian Parker get these guys to get the system before the season starts? Hit the ground running and win games in the beginning of the season. You can't come out and go 2-5 or 2-4, and then you got to win the last 6 games of the season and all that old stuff. Keep pace. Do what Mike McCarthy said. Get everybody in camp. Everybody signed. Get the game plan implemented. And while everybody else is scrambling to get it together, you already have it together. You come into the season, hit the ground running, go 4-0. Go 4-0. Go 5-1. Go 6-2. And by mid-season, if you're 6-2, you put yourself in a situation now. All you have to do is win 5 of the next 9 games. That'll get you 11. 6 of the next 9 games will get you 12 wins. It's a tale of two halves of a season. If you can do that, you're going to be good to go. At Young, he said they want to involve the fullback. Oh, yeah, you said the fullback. Yeah, Hunter Lipke. Hunter Lipke. Rombowski said at this level, you simply can't have your head coach wasting time in the meeting room for the opposite side of the ball in which he comes from. None of the winning teams have that going on their facilities. Yep, I like it. You need somebody that can take care of the defense on their own. I think Christian Parker's going to be able to do it. 72 Zavell said, my problem between Shotty and CP is how they see training camp. Will there be more hitting since CP come from teams that hit in camp? I could see that happening. Marvin May said, I believe he can. He handpicked his team. I have confidence in CP. I think he's going to do well, but I got to see it on the field. I think he's very confident too, and I think that bodes well for him and us. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We're going to be back tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be more Cowboys news breaking. Hopefully, it's no more George Pickens news other than he got extended. But if not, no more George Pickens news, please. Again, I still say this is all manufactured drama. There seems to be no drama with the Cowboys, but the media keeps trying to make mountains try to make molehills in the mountains. And I don't think that's the case. I think George Pickens and the Cowboys, they know what they're doing. They got the plan. George knows what he has to do, and I believe he's going to do it, and I believe he's going to be better for it. Cowboys going to be better for it. I believe it's going to be a great season. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll listen to those player interviews and whatever other news comes up and whatever other news y'all send me on Facebook, email, whatever the case may be. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Best chat on YouTube. T-shirts coming soon. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys. We talk facts. Peace.